3 letters, say it all. WCW, where the big boys play. Hi, everybody. That was my intro. If you don't know what that is, look up the WCW Monday Night Nitro opening song from 1995. You'll get it. Anyways, episode 4 of the WCW podcast. I'm here with
so.
It's 4th, yeah.
It's 4th, okay. I'm here, as always, with Wonder Chef.
Hello.
And Blind Ducky.
Hi.
Well, this week was pretty darn spectacular, if I do say so myself.
Oh, yeah.
We started with the Kumite in Tennessee. Now, this was hyped up for a long time. And we knew a lot of top players were going. There might have even been a big, silly gay mansion adventure at one point in time. I don't think it happened.
No, it didn't. I'm sad.
Yeah, sad. Somebody bought it like the week before or something, which is ridiculous.
Clearly someone was looking at Test Your Might and been like, my God, I can't let this mansion be disgraced. Either way, the event happened, and what a fucking show it was. Top 3 ended up being Forever King, first place with Batman. Emperor GGA Max was second with Bane, and AK Saltface was number 3 with Harley. What did you guys think? I thought this tournament was absolutely incredible.
It was cool. And playing to win got bodied, and that was my favorite part ever.
That was the best start to my weekend.
I think that was literally the first thing I heard about the tournament. Playing to win goes 0-2.
It was like the first match on stream was Playing to Win versus Saucy Jack. And it was just like, oh, Playing to Win is not good. Hey.
Well, he's a doctor.
Oh, that's true. Good point. Good rebuttal.
Is he like literally the fucking Dr. McCoy of the Test Your Might universe? He's
like a foot doctor.
I'm a doctor, not a top player. That should be his signature. Any Star Trek fan would get that. But yeah, he did not have a good look this weekend. I believe he lost to GJ Saucy Jack and
Katana Prime.
Katana Prime's Harley. Harley often thought to be a 3-7 matchup for Sinestro, so yeah.
Can I say that I love Katana Prime's Katana, or Harley Katana?
You love his Katana?
I don't know what his Katana was. I'm sorry, but no, I mean his Harley. Dude, his Harley was awesome. He is like the coolest Harley to watch. Like, there's really good Harleys out there, you know, like Dag and Saltface and stuff like that. But my favorite one to watch, hands down, was Katana Prime. Like, he is flashy and he is cool. He anti-aired with like a gunshot and then converted perfectly and stuff. And he's hyped to watch, dude. He made me want to play Harley.
Harley's cool.
Because Harley does cool things, because Harley does stuff. Because cupcakes. Yeah.
I mean, I think one thing the tournament really overall showed was that Harley probably has some of the best space control, period, in the game. There's just certain, like, even like you saw Zod playing against Harley, he couldn't get the trade out.
Mm-hmm.
He barely had enough time to get his normal pistol shot out.
Yeah, her guns are, like, they're really good at disrupting zoning and just being annoying as shit. It's retarded.
Yeah, low damage, though, but it's
there's like almost zero recovery, and they're like 21 frames, I think. But you know, whatever. They're really good.
And just building her meter the whole time, so she can use EX cupcakes or.
Yeah,
really good meter burn back 3 too.
Yeah. I mean, she's definitely looking like a force. Even Saltface got to top 3 with her.
I still think she's pretty meh compared to the rest of the cast, but that like Saltface and Deg and Katana Prime are just ridiculously good players. So
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, there was like a kind of a lack of like Aquaman players, and certain matchups that Harley doesn't like so much.
Ah, I see.
But obviously she's good. There have been how many Harley top 8 placings now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's happened too many times to me where I can know it's impossible to now say she's not a good character.
Yeah, I think she's just mid area. I don't know.
That's because Raven blows her up.
Well, whatever, but I don't care.
You know what I didn't know about until I saw it was that tantrum stance, like the silly slide when you do it as a wake up and you can reverse it. Like, and she'll do the tantrum stance and it'll go behind her. I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, you mean like if they jump over you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can just it autocorrects if you cancel out of the silly slide.
Really, that's really interesting. I didn't know she could do that.
Yeah, she's got a whole bunch of weird little things.
Yeah.
That.
But yeah, she definitely looks strong. I mean, this is a good week. I mean, this is a good week for Catwoman. The 16-bit got top 8 with Catwoman.
Yep, first top 8. Got
First
to
top 8 ever.
barely beat the weakest member of Team Hype Skype, Smart. Shout out to Smart.
Damn. First Smartgasm. He's our blow-up doll.
He is. We blow him up and then
do other things.
He always gets fucked.
Well, I feel bad because he looked really good against Newbie and was it
King.
RTD that he played? Who was the other person he played?
He played King and did well until the last match. And then
Forever King. That's right.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah, he was looking good against those two, and then he played against Bit, and he probably just doesn't play Catwoman that much because he looked like he's fucking lost.
Yeah, he got hit by a lot of jump twos. I personally think that that's a bad matchup for Black Adam. Bit wasn't abusing a lot of the stuff too. Like for instance, her back 3 goes under his. I have to listen to my brain. He's standing 1, he's standing 1-1, standing 1-1-2, standing 1-1-3, 2-2, 3, 2-2 back 1, back 2, back 1, forward 2. No, it actually isn't going forward 2. I'm sorry. Like his back 3, his down 2. Her back 3 goes under like almost literally all of his moves.
What about hands? Palpatine's. Doesn't it go under that too?
Goes under hands. So if he does like down 1 lightning hands, she can back 3 meterless in between them and punish it for a full combo. I think it's a tough match. I mean, she controls so much space with the whip. She can just jump and doesn't really have to worry about him like air-to-airing her. Because her jump one's really good and whip controls the space, and he can't dive kick because of whip too. And I don't know. It's kind of just I think it's a hard matchup for Black Adam, but Smart doesn't think so. Smart thinks it's still a Black Adam favor.
Yeah, I always thought if you had really strong jump normals, you're already beating a pretty good part of Black Adam's game.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like what I always felt Deathstroke never... Like, I never even bought that it was a bad matchup ever. Because Deathstroke is too good at jumping around, swinging these really, really high-priority normals.
Jump 3 is stupid.
And Black Adam's anti-air is okay, but it's not, like, fantastic.
Uh-huh.
So the most he'll do is probably trade. And a trade on a jump 3 is whatever.
Yeah, it's not in your favor. It's 5 to 11% trade.
Yeah. So and then you can punish all of his options. Now you can even punish Lightning now really badly because you can jump over it and quickfire.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was always even, and I think if you have strong air normals, you're already beating a big part of his game.
Yeah, he can't just jump back and dive kick when he sees you leave the ground. And I mean, with Catwoman, he can't ever down to her because the whip's coming. And,
yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. It's not easy.
And
me and Crazy explored that matchup a lot, but.
Oh yeah, I'm sure because you play Black Adam, he plays Catwoman.
Yeah.
I think one of the things Black Adam is not very good at, which I think a lot of the top characters are, is controlling a ton of space. And I think his only problem is he's not very good at controlling, like if you jump backwards, he can really only try Lightning or Black Magic, which is really precise and not easy to do.
Pikachu is probably better at doing that because
Lightning, right? I agree.
Yeah,
Lightning was much easier to do it with.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, he can also dash forward and air-to-air you a lot quicker, pre-patch. And yeah, it's like a certain angle that he can't control too well, which is like the top left side of the screen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the top, the top, like, away.
Away from him, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it can't be side-specific.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's just a problem that he has. So Catwoman probably jumping backwards probably is annoying to him. And she can convert off those jump twos very well, so.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
350-50s, it's great.
Catwoman getting top 8. We also saw there was another character that got his first top 8.
Zod.
Yep, Zod entered his top 8. Although I do think Zod's problems were shown pretty evidently. I mean, when he played against Max, I mean, you saw he was not getting up, if he was taking some damage at least, and it was very difficult for him to get started. If he got started, he was good.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very difficult for him to get started, and if he got knocked down, it fucking sucked.
Yeah, Pig could have done some things better when he was getting knocked down. Because, like, if you don't have, like, even if you have an invincible wake up, unless it's multiple hits, Bane's just gonna smack you back down and shit. So, like, he shouldn't have been trying to wake up as much. And he also, after double punch, I think if he had used down 1-2 to break the armor on the next double punch, because how Bane's like to double punch into double punch. Like if you have a quick 2-hitting move, that usually breaks the armor on it. And also meter burn back 3 and stuff. And I don't think he ever tried to neutral jump a command throw, like on knockdown or on a tick throw or anything. So, yeah.
And then, of course, Bane also made his first top 8. My God,
not his first top 8.
Oh wait, no, that's because Gurr got top 8 at NEC. My bad.
Yeah.
But my God, what a performance by Emperor Max or GGA Max. Good Lord. I mean that salt face match. I had an out of body experience watching that match. It was nonsense.
Dude, these are some weird matchups, like matchups that we've never seen before. You know, I mean, even amongst these scenes that have weird matchups, like there's no Harley at GGA really, so you never get to see that matchup. You know, or Bane in Atlanta, like.
There is a Bane in Atlanta, but he never goes out to anything.
Oh, okay.
So.
But still, we got to see some weird matchups. Max did well. Again, that was a tournament almost completely devoid of Superman, which is lucky. There's a lot of matchups that, again, I'll talk about this later, but I feel like there's a lot of people just don't play top tiers in this game, and so certain characters can do better.
I'll say this: I did not know about the down 2 thing, where if you do down 2 on their wake up and kind of cancel it into a move.
Dude,
that is fucking broke.
Yeah,
that shit is stupid.
It's really fucked up.
Now, see that to me that, as much as I agree that probably a lot of people don't know what the fuck was happening with Bane, it's hard to deny that his Okazemi game and his own wake up game might be the strongest in the fucking game. I mean, his ability to just not give a fuck about what you do on wake up is extraordinary.
Yeah, definitely. There are so few people that pretty much nobody gets out for free, but so few people have even an option.
Yeah, like Zod, he could have he has to guess on the. Basically, it seemed like if he was doing a normal canceled into a meaty normal canceled into a special, the only hope was to guess between the command grab and the DP, or the Peña Duryuken, as I call it,
or the overhead.
Right,
you can cancel that too.
So you basically have to straight guess between those options, and it's got to suck.
And he also has the option to not even do the down 2 and just go between low, overhead, and command throw.
Right.
So
it's so painful. And I was like, even Harley, who has a great wake up that hits a couple times,
it's not fast enough.
It's not working. Yeah. And if you get hit by a raging charge when he's level 2 with a meter burn, ooh, shit hurts.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't used to blowing up charge though right now too, but I mean, I'm not trying to take away anything from Max. Yeah. Max played really well. Obviously, he got second.
I just had watching that. I had never seen the down 2 thing, and I'm just thinking wow, Bane. They're really to me every time I see him played, the way I thought he was kind of weak, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, until now pretty much the only weakness. The only really big weakness that I see so far is that his punishing is kind of bad.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of true. But other than that, I mean, this guy, he's a fucking problem, I think. That down 2 is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, there are so many characters that just absolutely have to respect him. I've actually played quite a bit of Bane, which is random, but...
I play Bane too. I'm special.
Yeah, we've played Bane matches before.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I still think there's some characters that really give him a lot of problems. I mean, another one...
Remember when PL played him with Superman at Frosty? That looked bad.
I didn't see that.
You didn't? Oh, yeah, he counterpicked with Superman at Frosty, and it was pretty bad.
Against Max?
Yeah.
And he won?
Yeah, PL won.
Mm.
Yeah, that matchup doesn't look very fun.
Uh-huh. Also, Flash. I don't know if I just said that, but Flash and, think of who else.
Maybe Nightwing, because staff.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely that could be painful. There are matches that we're just not seeing a lot of for Bane, but yeah, he's definitely showing to be more and more dangerous over time.
He was looking good. And, it was funny, Batman obviously looks pretty bad. But still, even if he got the knockdown, that was all he needed. If he got him to the corner, he was taking a life bar at most.
Yeah. Again, that's Batman's weakness.
Yeah.
His wake ups are so crap.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the very least, he does have the option of parry, and one parry gets him out of that little vortex. So he's got some stuff that other people don't. I think it's Batman advantage. I mean, it's hard for him getting past that zoning.
Yeah. Definitely true. Yeah. So Bane was looking very impressive. Harley looked pretty impressive. Catwoman looked impressive.
What about Harold's Flash?
Harold's
that was
Flash.
retarded. Oh my god. His Flash is ridiculous.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. I don't think there's any doubt anymore who the best Flash is.
Yeah, pretty
Sure
much.
as fuck isn't Master D.
Dang.
Master D still did pretty decent, I think.
Yeah, to be fair, Master D, his Flash looked really solid. Like, I want to put him down because he's part, people that are jerks are rebelling him, which is a new term now, I guess. But, he's not the one talking shit, and he was pretty solid. He was pretty solid. I
don't want to give him too much shit. I just want to point out the only match that I had seen was that one he had with the Green Lantern player from Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a fucking birthday watching that match. That might have been the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Did watching Xenomorph was his name, right?
Yeah.
Watching him the whole weekend was like, it was killing me, man. He is ridiculous. People were saying he was the Gandhi of Injustice.
Oh my god! And again, this is not trying to blow the guy up. I'm just saying that's what it looked like. I don't know how often the dude plays or whatnot. I don't even. But
he plays every week at the AK tournaments.
It's just that matchup was so weird. The Flash, the Herald one.
Yeah.
I just don't know what was going on. And also I think it's just Master D, probably a victim of his local scene is just a couple of guys. You're only as good as what your comp is, and if you don't play online or whatever, then you kind of
Yeah,
you're going up
against on matchups and stuff. We did see that too. He fought against what's his name, Phil Pops, who used Lobo, and Phil Pops won the first match, and it looked like Phil Pops was going to take it. In fact, the commentators started popping off and trash talking our friend Cage Redfield because they're like, "Oh, look, he's about to beat Master D," and then Master D actually adapted and learned the matchup, and he bodied Phil Pops back. So you could see like a lack of a matchup experience, but he learned pretty fast. I don't know. I like Master D's Flash. It's solid.
Yeah.
But yeah, they should not have been rebelling him so much. They should not have been hyping him up way more than they needed to.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think and Dave did actually pretty solid over the weekend.
Yeah.
Except for his combos.
That was the one thing that was pretty hard to watch. His bare ass combos.
Yeah, it's just like Freddy. Pretty depressing.
Well, I think it's even worse though because with Zod, you're legitimately missing out on a ton of damage.
Yeah.
Well, Freddy too, actually.
Freddy had huge damage too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Freddy too.
He would hit him with like a ground claw, an EX1, and then just teleport away. Like what?
So if you're hitting with EX ground claw, you better get that fucking jumping punch.
Yeah. It was dumb.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that was definitely one of his biggest flaws, and.
But he still looked good though.
Yeah, but for the most part, he was doing what he likes to do.
Yeah.
It just wasn't enough.
Yeah,
AKA the Goomba, I think, put him out, right?
Yeah. Actually, in the run back, he beat Goomba earlier that day, and then Goomba ran it back. And did he use Wonder Woman at the time? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah. I think the only time he picked Superman was against PPJ.
Right. But,
Did that happen?
Superman actually looked solid. Counter pick. Because Superman, dude.
Let's be honest, who Superman isn't solid?
No, but
it's like saying who's Aquaman is solid.
Whatever. I mean, my Superman sucks.
You know what, man? It worked. He did it.
Well, but who did he? I didn't see the match. Who did he use Superman against? What character?
Hot girl.
I thought he used him against. Didn't he use him against Lex first?
Oh, maybe he did. I don't remember. I actually think he did, and then.
Yeah, and then he switched to
Hot Girl.
Yeah.
Because I was saying, if it was against Lex, that makes a little more sense.
Yeah, Lex versus Wonder Woman is such a pain in the ass for Wonder Woman. That's tough, man. So I don't blame him.
She has to fight through a lot of shit, it seems like.
Yeah. I mean, she can't stop him from trading up.
Yeah.
And then she's got a bunch of single hits. It's painful. But Yeah, I mean, Goomba did well, and then I know everybody's telling Anton to hold that now, Filipino man, because he did call out Goomba, of course. But dude, Anton, I still think, no offense to Goomba, but completely unbiased, I think I have an edge for Anton winning, or for Filipino man beating Goomba in the mirror, because I've been playing him, and his Wonder Woman's really good. It's actually, it's gotten way better since the last time I played it. He's getting really solid. Like, he abuses, like, you know, up close back twos into 2-3s, like the full combos. He doesn't drop them. He actually does, like, the low overhead mix up. He doesn't just do, like, 3-3, 3-3, and then, like, back 2-3 every once in a while. He's solid, man. It's gonna be a good match. I can't wait for SCR.
Now, what's been really interesting, I think, after this tournament, because there's a lot of character specialists out and about. The insert character of America has really been starting to narrow down lately. So, I mean, we could take a look at this. I mean, is there any doubt that Forever King is the best Batman now? I think Arma has to hold that.
I would say he's the most successful Batman. I'm still vying for Nubs being in the running for best, but unfortunately they haven't been at the same event yet. But without a doubt, he's the most successful Batman, and as far as results and stuff go, he's the best, I gotta say.
I mean, I'm a big proponent, regardless of where I am, that the results when you're at the big tournaments matter the most. So as much as I think Nubs is amazing, and you know I do, I think until it happens again, like we're at the same tournament, he's got to hold that. But we'll see. It might happen one day. So
yeah. I mean,
they're all really good. At least there's that. I mean, they're all top Batman players. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I think Max solidified himself as the best Bane.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, Gur is really close. You know, he's up there too. But yeah, I think it's really hard to argue about, you know, Max. I don't know, man. It's kind of tough. Bane's a weird character. Again, I feel like his tournament path determines a lot, and I don't know. You know, a few guesses could change everything. So it's hard to say that. But I mean, a second place at a major like KiT, that's a lot. But I mean, was he at NEC?
Max was not.
No.
Okay.
Oh, the only person with GGA was PPJ.
Yeah,
that's right.
He was the scout that won the tournament.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, Gur has one top 8, and Max has one top 8. Max placed higher, but I mean, you know, they're both close in placings, so it's close.
And then Saltface, I think, showed as the best Harley. Katana Prime was very good. I think he ended up getting, 17th, 9th or 17th or something like that.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Very good showing, but I think Saltface won it out in the end. I mean, his play was super on point. He obviously knows the power of using the cupcake and not really caring about how long the startup is. Because it really doesn't matter. Once it's out, it's coming. And it's frame advantage on block, and it's a hard knockdown on hit. Yeah.
Is it a hard knockdown on hit?
It is.
I did not know that.
Either.
Yeah.
Regular or meter burn?
Let me think, because I'm trying to think.
I can go check.
I thought the regular one launches. The meter burn one launches, I think.
Right.
I've always thought the first one was a hard knockdown on hit.
Let me...
Because I remember back when they had when you could pick people up off the ground, I remember Harley's big thing was she could get a hard knockdown into Cupcake, and it worked, and it would pick you back up off the ground unless you woke up out of it.
Oh, wow.
She still can do that.
Can she?
Yeah, I still see that happening a lot.
Yeah, so it was like do 1-1-2 with the gun hard knockdown into the Cupcake, and that was the setup, the pickup setup. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, regular Cupcake's a hard knockdown. I don't know that at all.
So yeah, it'll if it's trades, you're gonna be at advantage. I think by the time you get up, you recovered from whatever move you got hit by, depending on the move, of course. But yeah, he's really good at using that, especially like when he's playing Zod, and he would trade with maybe the pistol shot, and it really didn't matter because he was recovering faster than he did, so it's still hard to get the trade out. And who else did he play? He played one more before that. He played Pig, and then was it Flash?
Yeah.
Harold?
He played Harold. Yeah, he played Harold. Yeah. I think he played him twice.
He played very immaculately during that. Against a character that's, pretty much considered an anti-zoner. I mean, he apparently, he gets in really good, and he punishes projectiles very hard, but he was keeping him at bay. Definitely
Yeah.
looked. Well, I think
Well.
yes. The question is undoubtable. I think. I mean, Deg obviously, he has the other. Did he get top 8 at CEO?
He got top 8 at CEO, yeah.
Got top
He
8 at
did.
CEO.
But he also, remember, he did use Scorpion there, partially.
Right. And Saltface
And-
is like a diehard Harley, right?
Yeah.
Right, and then, hasn't he sort of switched to Zatanna recently?
I do
Yes.
believe so. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So maybe we'll see. We'll start Saltface either way. I think it's emerged. I think there's no argument.
Mm-hmm.
I know it'll be controversial for the West Coast guys, but I think 16-bit has shown that he might be the Catwoman to beat.
No, Raw Helios, though.
Raw Helios. That's a good question. Let's talk about Raw Helios. Who is he?
Some guy
I
that
don't
lives in
know who that
Baltimore.
is.
That's all I know.
He's a very strange individual. He posts on the Catwoman forums, and he posts some interesting tech. It's usually not that good.
To be fair, I think there was one thing that he posted where it was the thing where the first hit of Cat Dash, the medium Cat Dash whiffs, and it gets she can get 47% for a bar or something. So
Yeah, but that was kind of an obvious one. That one would have been figured out sooner rather than later. I mean,
yeah, but whatever. He posted it, and I don't know. I don't know if anybody else did or not. I don't know. But whatever.
yeah, I guess so. I mean,
So
but basically what he does is he always argues like, "Oh, I'm the best Catwoman in the world. I'm the best Catwoman in the world because I made this tech. I invented."
and he played
Catwoman."
the number one Batman on the leaderboards. That actually was his argument for one time. It was really dumb.
Yeah, and he's just strange. He speaks very strangely. Like everybody thought he was from another country. Turns out he's from some
Baltimore.
Baltimore or something like that.
Well, can't you forgive him for speaking weird? Have you ever seen The Wire?
I have
No,
not
I have
actually.
not.
I'm sorry.
That's fucking racist. I'm gonna stop now. Go ahead. Continue.
But anyway, that's who he is, and I guess 16-bit popped off on him.
I heard "fuck you, Raw Helios." That's what, or you can go fuck yourself or whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. But yeah, I think he lost his salt face right away, right in top 8.
I don't
I
actually
do.
remember who he lost to. I missed some of the first matches of top 8 because it was
Yeah.
so early. for
Yeah,
us.
I had to go to work, so I didn't get to see the very first part of it.
I'm trying to remember who it was because I think I saw it. I think it was Saltface.
Right,
I'm
and
very
they've actually fought before. SC.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Saltface. Yeah, it was definitely Saltface. So
But yeah, I mean, his play looked good. I mean, considering everything, his matchup inexperience, he looked pretty good. Even against Forever King, it looked like he had him for a second. He was playing very well, but and I'm sure he'll admit this. He made a terrible decision to transition him, and they got to the pig stage.
Ugh,
I was like, death.
this is the worst stage ever.
Yeah, that was a bad idea. But yeah, props to him for getting top 8 with Catwoman.
Yeah, he did great. There was still a few matchup based things that, I don't want to be that guy, but there was still a few matchup based things that he could have done slightly better. Like I said, back throwing under Black Adam stuff, and also when he fought Smar's Aquaman, he was still confirming into Cat Claws, which is kind of scary. But I mean, I don't know. He played really well. Obviously, I think he's the the Catwoman of the world right now. Crazy, dropped her.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Doesn't he still play, or hasn't he been on and off?
No, he's pretty much done with her. I'm sad about that though. I think his Catwoman was really good.
Yeah,
He's
he
doing
looked good.
fine. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, for a good portion of time, he was getting top 3 almost every week with Catwoman, and then now that he switched to Martian, he hasn't been as successful. So, I would like to see him go back to Catwoman.
I thought I saw him use Catwoman at Wednesday Night Fights recently.
I think he still uses her against Superman or something.
Oh, damn.
yeah. Now this is going to be a controversial one as well. A.K.A. Elite Goomba. I mean, he's got the results. He looked really good. It's almost hard to deny who's the best Wonder Woman right about now.
Yeah,
I guess for now, we kind of can't really say much.
Right, we're still a young game. Everything can change. So
Except for my Raven.
Right, we'll get to that. But let's keep a snapshot right now. I think you have to put Goomba up there. And until SCR or something like that with Filipino Man, I think
Yeah, SCR is going to show who's better. Whoever places higher, and I mean, sure they'll do the mirror, but I think whichever one places higher is going to be considered the better.
Yeah, the mirror's going to be whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a mirror, so
Still be entertaining though.
It'll definitely be entertaining. Especially if Cash's promised, big suite is going to work out.
Yeah, that should be cool.
And I'm actually really excited because I made a plea to my bosses this week, and they were like, "You know what? We understand it. Just put in an official request. We'll see what we could do, but it's looking pretty good."
Sweet.
Nice.
So I might be able to make SCR.
Nice.
I'm excited.
Now I can't register until I actually have confirmation, so it might be a little while longer. But yeah, it's looking good.
Nice. Yeah, I just registered today actually because got my paycheck. So.
Right.
Did you register as Kanye Chef?
No, I did though register as Hype Skype EGP Wonder Chef.
Yay!
I did it.
I registered before Hype Skype existed, kind of.
Dang.
So
dang.
I need to. No, I'll have him put it on my name during the stream, so it's okay.
Kanye Chef.
Yeah, there's this whole Tumblr based around Kanye being a chef that Revolver was showing us for some reason.
Jesus.
I don't even get the I don't get the idea, but it was just he was just posting tons and tons and tons of lyrics, like Kanye lyrics with food in them.
It was awesome.
I gotta see this because I actually love Kanye, so that'd be interesting. Oh, you should be Kanye Chef though. I'd like it.
I might enter Kanye Chef.
You're going to. You're going to tomorrow. You're going to do it.
Well, yeah. So SCR is definitely going to be a very interesting meet as far as Wonder Woman concerned.
Dude, even forget Wonder Woman. Like, there's going to be people from East Coast. GGA guys are coming. Like, everybody from NorCal's going. SCR is going to be huge.
Is GGA going? I hadn't heard.
Apparently, okay, I've heard mixed things, but that Bit's going, that he might not be going, that G is going, that Max is going, PVG is going, Newbie Sauce or Saucy Jack's supposed to be going, Slips might go. I've heard yes, no's, maybes, and shit, but
shit, I didn't even know East Coast guys besides Atlanta guys were going.
Rico's supposed to be Devil May Spy, Jupiter, some other guy that's going with Jupiter, and then maybe Smargasm, Reno Rax, and Goomba. This tournament's gonna be kind of big.
Yeah,
I think
it always is.
I think it'll be better than NEC.
Ooh! Wow, that's a hell of a claim.
It is.
It's going to be. It's going to be awesome.
In fact, I'd like to bring up. Speaking of that, I'd like to bring up what you guys think about. Devil May Spy was saying that it was a more stacked major. Kumite was a more stacked major than NEC. And I want to know what you guys think about that. Okay,
well,
that was fast.
Yeah, that's.
Well, actually, since Ducky was there, I'll let him start.
Yeah, it wasn't. There were people from it was GGA in Atlanta and then Ohio. So Midwest and Atlanta. That's not. There was nobody from the West Coast. There was nobody from the Northeast. You can't say it was the most stacked major when NEC just happened. It had people from the West Coast, had people from, obviously Northeast, had Atlanta, and then had their one GGA guy. You can't say that major is more stacked. He tried to use Chris G as an example for why it's stacked, and that's horseshit. That was retarded.
It was the worst example.
Yeah, Chris G is not a top player in Injustice. I don't care if he placed early on in the game. Brady did too.
Yeah, not anymore. We got to give him credit though. He was very, very, very good at the start of the game.
Yeah, he was absolutely.
Insanely good, but not
now. Yeah, he's not exactly. So, you can't use that as an example. Just no.
Well, I'll say first of all, Devil May Spy seems like a really nice guy. I mean, he pumps the community a lot. No, he did a lot of commentary.
What was your opinion on Jade's pimps?
I was shocked.
Oh, you know?
Chef tweeted it out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Someone actually reads my tweets?
Yeah.
That's news to me.
Well, it's on my feed. I can't help it.
Oh, okay, got it.
I don't follow a ton, and I don't use Twitter a ton, so I don't follow a ton of people. But yeah, so I see most of this shit. But I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting. I thought it was just a random Jade player, because Jade players, they're all kind of goofy, anyways.
Goofy is a good word for it.
They are, dude. Remember that one dude? He's not from this country, but he had he would fucking tear nonstop about how MK9 is the worst fucking piece of shit ever because it wasn't balanced.
Which of those guys? There's a million people.
Glortor.
Glortor. Oh, jeez, dude. Glortor
was the worst.
He was one of the worst, easily. He was so bad.
That guy was annoying. Does he still exist?
No, he's irrelevant, but it was.
Well, he's always been irrelevant.
Right, but he's like super irrelevant. Like he's not even on the forums.
Good.
He was a mod at some point.
He was a mod. Who decided that shit?
Yeah.
Dude, the character mods were out of control. Can we be serious about that?
Yeah, they have me.
No, like,
still out of control.
No, I mean, like, no, back in the day, though, like the MK9 days.
Yeah.
It was nonsense, this character mods.
Yeah, you should never make someone a mod just because they're good at a character. Ever. You should never give anybody positions of power based on how good they are, because
then you have me.
you people like Ducky, yes. No, but I mean, like, there are so many assholes that happen to be good, or like irresponsible people.
True. But getting back to what we're talking about, Devil May Spy again, nice guy. I'm not a fan of the pro stream monster thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
It just kind of bugs me. But either way, he seems like a nice guy. So I really liked that he was commenting, and he dressed really nicely, and that was cool. Now, as far as he did have a nice suit, a 3-piece suit.
It was a pretty suit. It wasn't a nice suit. It was pretty. As
far as the whole NEC thing, I think NEC was probably had more coasts, more representation of every scene. So it was better in that necessarily. But the way the pools were in Kumite, they were ridiculous. I mean, every pool was killer. And not that NEC didn't have, like, killer pools, but some of them probably weren't as bad. Like, literally, there was only, 4, I think? 4 or 5?
I think there were 4.
There were 4?
Yeah.
Kumite? And they were all ridiculous. I mean, all these top guys were in every pool. So there was no one really got, like... And I'm not trying to say anyone had a free ride, but I'm saying, like, they were more stacked than I think the usual.
Well, the thing about that is exactly what Pimpin' Jim said on Twitter, which was perfect, is that it seemed more stacked because there was only 4 pools. Now, when you compare them, basically what you have to do is you say, okay, so basically pools at Kumite, they played out until top 8. And pools at NEC played out until top 16. So basically what you need to do is not only say, oh, this is my pool, but you have to say, this is my pool, and then the 2 people that I play after to get into top 8 are also considered in my pool. That's basically the way you have to think of it.
Right.
So if you think of it that way, then every single NEC pool was insane. I mean, literally take every single person that somebody played after top 16, before top 8, and put them in their pool, and that becomes a totally different, viewpoint. But that's basically how it is. It seems more stacked because of the pool system.
Right. Well, I think both of them had their fair share of competition. And I think that was kind of one of those things said just to kind of try and hype up the tournament. But, people say dumb shit to try and hype things up. Everyone always does. So I didn't really look too much into it, but I can see why some people were offended.
I think Devil May Spy got more offended than anybody else. Because
everybody else he kind of did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It's hard to argue that the player the area with the more representation of every scene was more stacked. You know what I mean? So for NEC, it's a point for NEC's case. And then again, the pools of Kumite were much smaller, much more condensed. So yeah, I don't know. I really just kind of. I think NEC probably I would give the nod to.
Yeah, I'm definitely giving the nod to NEC. I mean, obviously Kumite was an insane tournament. One of the biggest, that's and most influential tournaments that we've had.
Yeah, no one's saying it's not.
Yeah.
And, yeah. But, I don't know, NEC, more stacked. Because NEC.
Yeah, NEC was insane. Seriously. I mean, what top players did we have at Kumite that we didn't have at NEC, is the question.
Saltface? Was Saltface at NEC?
He was not at NEC. It wasn't at NEC.
The GGA, most of the GGIs were at NEC.
Pretty much that.
Yeah.
I would say playing to win, but...
Dude, this poor guy. I'd say poor guy, but he is kind of an ass.
No, he's not a poor guy. He's a piece of shit, so it's okay.
Yeah, he deserves every piece of what's coming to him. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
I feel no sorrow for that man. He's such an idiot. He's easily one of the biggest idiots in not just our community, but the entire fighting game community. Like,
Damn.
Well, it's true.
It is.
Well,
he's also a dick.
Hard to argue sometimes. I mean,
yeah. He made. I don't know, dude. He has no people skills. He just insults people, like just absolutely insults them, and then people call out on him. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just trolling. I'm not taking this seriously." Ha ha ha. And then, but dude, it's just not just our community that hates him. It's like the Street Fighter community hates him. Everybody hates him. Marvel community hates him.
Yeah.
He's so
Did he even play Marvel?
I don't know.
Nobody ran tournaments.
Mm.
Well, like when he did the Coco thing or whatever that was.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was a blow up. I remember watching him get bodied by Infiltrations of Khan. That was interesting. Now, again, to be fair, that is like a ridiculously bad matchup for Dalzim, I've heard. So I won't hold him against him too much.
Oh, who cares? Like, he'd beat him with any character. It's not like it matters.
Dang.
So I think, yeah, like I was saying earlier, I think the insert character of America. For Flash, if there's a couple characters that we're kind of on the fence about, Flash definitely is secured. I mean, Zyfox is dead. Yeah. I mean, he's basically, he's in the plot. The plot has been chosen. The dirt is starting to get shoveled in.
Damn.
The tombstone is not there yet, but it's getting there.
Probably be there after SCR.
With rest in peace, Zyfox, he was never allowed to live. Presumably carved out on the headstone. But, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt until, he's got a couple more months.
Well, he says he's coming to SCR, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
I saw something from him saying he booked a flight to SCR. So
California love.
Boom, boom, boom.
It's going to be crazy. Yeah. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about, which is pretty awesome, that we just saw a lot of recap today, was the thing with Gross and Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah.
The epic argument that was... apparently, Gross said he was a top 5 MK player. And he appealed to the Mortal Kombat authorities, which... Good lord, did they smack him down. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Every single one of his points was thoroughly cut up and spit right back at his half-English-speaking face.
Damn.
I don't know. It would look bad.
Yeah, I mean, he dug his own grave, pretty much. But, yeah, I mean, to quote somebody who, I don't know if they want to be named, because it is kind of a blow-up, but to quote them, they said, "Man, until this weekend, I did not know how much of an asshole, or no, how annoying Gross is. He just walks around talking about how he's the best, and just non-stop." So someone told me that after...
That sounds like me.
Dude, remember?
Then you win. That's the difference.
Oh. Yeah.
Remember when Gross got signed by EMP and that was supposed to be a big deal? God, what a bill of goods that must have been.
Oh, yeah. Like
they supposed to be like Emperors and EMP or some bullshit. It was really dumb. It was dumb, but there's some...
Do you remember that whole thing where like they were doing the team battle and then they had that whole dramatic thing where he switched sides? And...
Oh my god, this...
I think I remember a video about that. It was really dumb.
it was Emperor versus Empire, and he like switched sides to Empire at the very last second, and it was all dramatic and stuff. And then,
and Triforce wonders why people don't take it seriously. Jesus Christ! What is this fucking the real WCW? You switch, you're gonna turn heel on the Emperor? What dumb shit! I remember there was a video of it where girls came out and like ripped his shirt off, and it was EMP.
That's exactly what it was. That was
like he went to Team Canada, like he was in USA, and they would switch to Team Canada.
Who would switch to Team Canada?
That happened in WCW. I won't talk about it, but it did.
Oh God,
it sucked. But yeah, that's basically what he did. He ripped his shirt off. He's joined the NWO. He's turned heel on the formerly the Weekend Emperors. It was nonsense.
And then nobody cared, sadly.
Yeah, his point was very greatly refuted. I mean, CD Jr. is my son might be one of my favorite quotes I've ever heard.
That is a pretty good one.
He kept saying it, too.
What the fuck?
CD Jr. is my son.
CD Jr. responded about that too. He like wasn't even mad about it. He was
Well, they're all.
Hmm.
You go.
Okay, he was like, I don't know, he said like, oh, he was just beating me at whatever tournament that was. So, like, I don't know. He didn't seem mad about it. It must be a Dominican thing.
That's kind of what it is. I mean, it's hard to speak. Those guys will stick together no matter what. This is how it is, culturally. And but yeah, that's fine. It's kind of whatever. I mean, it's not going to help his point anymore. I love how he goes, "Who's better than you?" He goes, "Rio, Detroit Balin."
Detroit Balin.
It's Detroit Balin. Detroit Balin on Injustice. Yeah. And then that was it. He was just like those two. And maybe CD Jr. No, and then he goes, "I'm his father." And then it's like he's fifth, and they were like, "No." God, he got the poor guy. He got top 8, I think, at 3 tournaments. Now he's top 5 of all time. He did beat PL. Very convincingly, I would argue.
Yay.
Yeah, that first time
The
they fought.
VXG. The VXG that looked like it was done in someone's fucking backyard. Remember that? That first VXG?
Yeah.
Where they streamed Mortal Kombat and it was all dark. It looked like they were playing in Skull Island.
Well, I remember that first VXG was supposed to be a team tournament. It was supposed to be like Empire versus DMG versus... There were some others. I forget.
Rest in peace, DMG.
Yeah, no. Rest in peace.
Dude, I hated that Jason 24 QCF guy though.
Really?
He was obnoxious.
I had no dealings with him, so
I didn't have any dealings with him personally either, but he would go into the Faye forums on SRK and tear about how bad Fei Long was. Good God.
Is Fei Long supposed to be good?
I'm sorry, your character might be top 5. That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, like Fei's good. Fei's pretty much always been good.
Yeah, like in Super, everyone was like, he's going to be Dan tier. And they're like, oh, whoops, he's one of the 10 best characters in the game, probably.
Yeah.
AE, oh, he's going to be Dan tier again. Well, he's probably top 3. Whoops.
He arguably was the best in AE.
Yeah, I think Yun and Yang had a chance of being better than him, but Fei was definitely.
It was those 3 for sure.
Totally save EX Rekka, combo into sweep. Forget about it. Forget about it. But that's another story. But
yeah.
At the end of the day, I think Gross needs to do a little more to prove he's. If Forever King can't be in the top 10, Gross can be nowhere near the top 5.
Yeah,
although he does have impressive accomplishments, but still,
he does.
Not being top 5 in the room was hilarious.
Personally, I didn't ever like Gross's gameplay very much. I was never a really big fan. Like, that first time he fought PL, he played it pretty well. That's my favorite match of him that I've ever seen. But after that, I mean, he counterpicked with a lot of weird characters. He wasn't very optimal. He was just kind of weird. And I mean, he made his way to top 8s, but I don't know. He was never one of my favorite players.
Well, I think Sector was the kind of character, like, if you were super kind of nutso, sometimes you got away with it. Like, if an EX teleport hit, you were pretty solid.
Yeah, it was
you
like
were nuts with him. Yeah. So yeah, he's one of the characters you can be a nut with, and I don't know. Yeah, and he has a low hitbox, so he kind of goes under some of the, like a Kung Lao type character. Like he goes under a lot of his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
did Gross ever play Lao?
I always saw him play Smoke and Sector.
I saw him play Reptile once, and let me say his Reptile was terrible. But no, I never saw him play Lao.
Dude, I think he was one of the original Rebellos. Because remember, he went to whatever tournament it was. I think it was Final Round. And all we had to hear about was how, oh my god, he's... Not Final Round, it was whatever he went to before that. Maybe CEO. And it was like, oh my god, he's the best Smoke. He's the best Sector. And it was Pig. Yeah, sorry, but you were doing your usual Rebello thing. Oh my god, he might be the best. I beat every other Smoke, but I lost to this one. It might be 7-3.
Damn.
And I remember that a lot. And, it didn't really turn out so well.
Yeah, but he got a big head. I'm surprised he had such a big head. I didn't know that he was so sure of himself until, this weekend.
I mean, once you tasted the fame, and I'm saying that very liberally. But yeah, some people don't handle it very well.
Like me.
Yes, Ducky's a prime example.
Yeah, all I do is flip myself. Half of our Skype calls is me just telling about how great I am.
More than half, probably.
That's
probably like 75%.
Yeah.
It's probably
maybe 80.
Yeah, it's great.
But I hope Gross goes to more tournaments so we can hear him mumble about how he might be the best, how he's CD Junior's father. I hope that continues, just as a bit, and he continues to get blown up. Remember when he said he was there for AE and Marvel? I wonder how that turned out.
I don't know. I heard that he went into Bit's room and put in AE, and then Bit was like, Bit just told him to get out. He's like, just get out of here.
Didn't we shoot him with a broom? Get out of here! Go back here. Get out of here, Gross. Poor Gross. Well, why would you do that?
I know, especially in the GGA room. Like, you're gonna get blown up. But hey, if he thinks he's good as MK9, I would say come to SCR. SCR is gonna be easily the biggest MK9 tournament that we've had since EVO. Easily. It's gonna be big. Yeah, I mean, West Coast still has an extremely strong scene for MK9, and if GGA ends up showing up, that'll be really nice. We've got Vegas, we've got SoCal, NorCal. Hopefully, you guys still play a bit. Do you?
Yeah, we do. We actually usually after our locals we pop in MK and play it, or when we get together for casuals for Injustice, we always end up playing MK. But do you know if I can still pre-register for MK and KI? Because I wasn't able to when I registered for Injustice.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a way. We'll talk about it later. But
okay.
But yeah, so if he thinks he's really good at MK9, the next tournament to go to for MK9 is going to be SCR. It's going to be big for a game that a lot of people consider dead, but we don't on the West Coast, or at least in SoCal. It's not dead for us.
We play it here too.
Oh yeah, hell yeah!
So much fun.
I don't.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's dead. I don't think I've played since right before Injustice came out was the end, and then that was kind of it. I moved on. I was no longer having a ton of fun with it, so I was like, just shelve it. Happens to every game. Not really a big deal, but I still like watching it.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun.
I played it online like a week ago. It was really weird. I played Losner, which was strange.
Costner's evil twin.
Yeah, that was odd. But yeah, that game's so much fun. I miss it.
Well, speaking of MK9, I thought of this, because last time we had a lot of fun talking about Devastation. So I thought, and to educate young Ducky here, I thought we could go on a little trip down memory lane. We talk about Devastation 2011. And now the thing I hoped, and I hope that you can provide, I don't know if you could, but if you could, that would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
I was not I don't even think I had a TYM account around the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if there was any big story. The only storyline I know of is the one that involved us, which was the 16-bit/Sal thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know of any of the major storylines going in or anything like that. So do you remember anything like that at the time?
I think that was the major one. There was some. I mean, me and Brady was kind of we were arguing a lot. That was back when
then.
Yeah,
you guys were a cute couple.
It was hilarious. I mean, that's when he made a 40-minute Brady cast talking about how people like Wonder Chef are the reason why I can't support this community anymore. Yes, and then he called me Wonder Shelf. He was like, people like Wonder Shelf will never bring me down.
Wonder Shelf.
Yeah, and then what happened is we showed up, we ended up on commentary together. It was hilarious. It was awesome. And I actually did sign up at that tournament as Wonder Shelf. And
yeah,
if you go back and look in the Team Hazmat YouTube, my matches are Wonder Shelf.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always saw that and wondered what was going on. I figured Haz, just misheard it. But no. Wonder Shelf.
Yeah, Tom he made a tweet, a very angry tweet. And he said, people like Wonder Shelf will never bring me down. And so it just stuck. And that was Wonder Shelf for a long time.
I hope Kanye's Chef sticks.
Dude, that has to stick.
I like Chef Thunder. Nobody liked it, though.
Chef Thunder is pretty good. I like it. I like it.
No.
I like it, too.
I don't like it.
So you and Tom were going at it.
Yeah, me and Tom were going at it.
Now, one thing I remember a lot of I don't know if you can comment so much, but there were a lot of dudes walking around wearing this AU shirt.
Oh yeah, I actually can. I was part of AU at that point in time. It's my only real run-in with being in an online clan, but it was AU, which what was it called? Aggravated in Unison, and it was it was my friend Evan's clan, another Evan, because we need more Evans
Good Lord.
in this community, right?
It's really adding up at this point.
It is. It's also weird because his name is Evan, his brother's name is Ethan. My name is Evan, my brother's name is Ethan. And then in the Arizona scene, there's an Evan and an Ethan, and it keeps tripping me up. But
that's insane.
Yeah, I don't know why the names just go together. It's creepy. But anyway, it was an online clan, and I joined them back a little bit before Evo because we had a really cool. Well, I had met Evan a few times before AU Wanna Die. That was his name.
Yes,
Wanna Die.
I remember him.
Yeah, and he's actually he was a really nice guy. He was a little bit, he was very energetic and he was his own person, but he was a really nice guy. And 88s were really dominant back then, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll join your clan. It'll be fun. And so we joined, and we actually had the first offline clan battle at Evo 2011. It was AU versus 88s, and there was some crazy shit. Like we all recruited like weird people, like Rio was on the 88s team, and Eric Wardo was on AU. Online Tony was on AU. It was some crazy shit, but that's how it all started. And so I joined them. He made a bunch of shirts for Devastation. And so there was like Mr. Molina and I don't remember what his tag was, but Red Rum. There's a guy named Red Rum from Texas, not the New York one. And basically it was just an online clan. And there was a bunch of us there.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, it was a fun little thing. It ended after a while, but
yeah. Now the last thing I heard about AU Digimon, or not AU Digimon.
Wanna Die?
Yeah, Wanna Die. Was I remember. Now, you remember there was that big controversy when MKU went down? Like, it totally, crashed.
Yeah.
And there was a big controversy as to who did it. And Pig got thrown under the bus. And then AU Wanna Die got thrown under the bus.
Really?
And then, yeah. And then I got thrown under the bus.
You got thrown under the bus, really?
I got thrown under the bus.
That's weird.
Well, actually, it was me and Sal.
Ugh.
Why?
I have no I was fucking livid.
Dude.
I remember, dude, I was popping off at the Morty and Sal household. I was losing my fucking mind. I called Pig and was like, fuck you, I don't ever want to talk to you again.
Damn.
Well, I didn't call him, I actually left a message. And then I realized over a space of time how dumb it was. We fucking patched things up. We're all good. But yeah, I was fucking livid. Pig was equally livid. And I don't know what AU Wanna Die had to say about it, but it actually turned out it was two fucking pieces of shit from MKU. Shocking that MKU has sprouted pieces of fucking absolute fucking shit. But yeah, that's the last I heard of AU Wanna Die. He was a nice guy when I saw him at Devastation. So, did he play Reptile? That's what I remember.
I think he played Lao.
Yeah,
Lao.
I've seen his SIG before and it had Lao in it, so.
Of course he did.
Yeah, he was a fun guy. He was funny. Yeah. So it was just a casual thing. We had some good offline battles 3 or so, and it was enjoyable.
One of the other things I remember was that Dink was coming down, and that was supposed to be a big deal
Oh yeah,
because of Quan Chi.
yeah, and he actually he beat Tyrant really bad.
Yes, I remember that.
At that tournament. That was a big blow up, and that started a big sort of rivalry thing between them. Tyrant had no idea how to fight against Quan Chi.
Right, the rune trap would fucking snatch you up.
Yeah, and he was doing things like he was trying to zone him when he shouldn't have been.
Right.
And because Quan Chi really does sort of crumble to that pressure a little bit. I mean, he can duck the forward 4 and 3, but I don't know. There was just a lot of stuff that Tyrant wasn't playing correctly, and I taught him how to fight the match afterwards. And there was a huge rivalry between them going into SCR. But as usual, when Dink has a rivalry with somebody, he ends up becoming friends with them later.
Right. Yeah. Was that when Jax was still a shitter?
I don't remember.
Because there was a patch after Devastation.
No, wasn't the actually no, wasn't the patch?
It was the final patch just before it.
I think it was because remember everybody was talking about the dash blocking.
Oh right,
different?
the zoning, right?
Yeah,
That now Devastation will always go down as the start of the zoning revolution. Because Rio got first, and Mr. Molina got second, and 16-Bit got third, all being fucking jackasses throwing projectiles. And it was supposed to be like, God, the game is over. Like, zoning wins. Fatality.
Yeah, it was... I mean, it's still good, but we just weren't dealing with it well, you know?
Right.
And yeah, we all could have done better. We all could have done better against that.
Johnny Cage was, like, he was done. Yeah, it was an interesting time. Tyrant was there, I remember that, and I remember that at the time, what I'd heard was that Tyrant was famous because he did not use the Jax corner thing.
Yeah, which actually continued for a really long time.
Yeah, I remember that. That was like his gimmick.
Yeah, but I never understood that. I always kind of got mad because it was like, why don't you use it? Your character needs it, sort of.
Wait, what did he not use? The
EX ground, the enhanced ground pound into like 4 free pickup.
The reset.
Yeah,
in the corner.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And I remember even on KTP, he said that if he had CD Junior down at the tournament, he would show him mercy.
Dang.
And I think everyone facepalmed unanimously. Although it seems like now he's changed his ways.
Oh yeah, definitely. Up to a point, he realized, I can't, take it easy on people anymore.
Right. I think him and Dink ended up actually getting a 17th, 9th at that tournament.
Didn't Dink get top 8?
No, he didn't.
No? Okay.
I know he didn't because I remember the top 3, and then it was Morty and B-Wiz.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I have to remember the last 2, Tom and Marvaz. Who could forget that? Now, for those who don't know, Tom was, of course, he's being Tom. If you don't know Tom and MK, the way he was about Aquaman, same way he was about Sub-Zero. So, there was another Sub-Zero player named Marvaz, who was a bit of a character, to say the least.
Yeah, is a bit of a character. He's still around. Just
right, yeah.
He showed up to Yeah, go ahead.
I saw him at our local this Sunday.
Really?
He showed up. Yeah, if he's in Sacramento, he usually texts me, like, "Hey, anything going on?" And he'll come in and play Injustice and MK. So.
Huh. Well,
yeah.
Good to see. But he was living in Arizona at the time, and he's very, very quick to, very not much of a temper on him. And so when Tom, started doing his usual Tom shtick, Marvaz was just like, "I will fuck you up."
Mm-hmm.
And I believe they almost came to blows.
Yes, they were very close to. And Marvaz was really buff, dude.
Marvaz is huge.
He's ripped, like.
He's big.
I would
looks like a luchador. I mean, this guy, he looks like Ramses from fucking Nacho Libre. This dude is jacked. And Tom's bigger, on height slightly, but I don't think he would have had a chance.
No, definitely. I would side bet lots of money.
This is gonna turn into something.
All right. Here's something we should do. Top 5 fights that I want to see. I want to see the rematch of Napalm and Chef. Sucker Punch will not decide it. I want to see fucking full contact. And I also want to see Marvaz and Tom. I want to see Pig and Tom because I feel one day it would come to that. They'd still be friends or whatever, but one day they will fight.
I want to see Triforce and Outworld.
Oh god, that'd be awesome.
Like a straight up
He's got the power glove on, trying to punch him.
Can you imagine Outworld in real life, like knocking Triforce out and just standing up and be like, "Silence! The Emperor is speaking." That would be the hypest shit in the entire history.
If he ripped off the power glove and held it high above his head.
What if he ripped his dreads out?
Oh my god, his little cornrows.
Oh man.
No, what? He's Shao Kahn. He should do one. Rip his fucking heart out.
Damn. Oh shit.
I would be rooting for Outworld so hard, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, if Outworld started doing the shoulder charge that Khan does, That would be so tight.
Our world would have that free.
I mean, Triforce, who knows what that power... That could be a loaded power glove.
Damn.
You could have some fucking, brass knuckles under there. Who knows? The shenanigans that would happen.
Dude, but Shao Kahn, he'll just headbutt that shit.
That's true. I mean, that X-ray was ungodly. Did like 60%. I'd have to give the nod to Emperor. Yeah. If Emperor said you suck just like that to Triforce, oh my god.
This is something I would pay to see, let's be honest.
Absolutely. Let's see, what other fight would I pay to see? There's one more I was thinking of. Shit. I would say 16-bit and M2 Dave.
Oh god,
it would be the dumbest fight of all time. I assume 2% of punches would actually connect. And there'd just be a lot of hair and baby-like faces clashing.
There would be no hair clashing. It's M2 Dave. I'm sorry.
Right, no, I say it would be a mix, because 16-bit has a ton of hair.
Got it.
Whereas Dave has none.
What if they, clashed in, this big cloud of smoke, and when they came out, 16-bit had normal hair, and then Dave had normal hair, and it just, distributed itself amongst them?
I imagine if those two fought, it would turn into that thing where they ran at each other, and it would turn into one of those big cartoon pieces of smoke.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you just see fists flying.
Pow!
Yeah, no one's really hitting each other. Dave would throw over chairs.
Dave would just backdash the whole time.
Dave would just run away and just throw shit. That would be awesome.
Dave would be throwing down chairs trying to zone. He'd be throwing, they'd be at a catering table, he'd be, hurling the paper plates. He'd be hurling the paper plate. He'd be throwing red Solo cups.
Damn.
16-bit would duck under them like Catwoman cat stance.
Right. He would do the back. He would back three under Dave's punches. In the end,
I just seen Bit trying to do Catwoman's back three.
Oh my god. In the end, I'd have to give the nod to Bit only because I have a feeling if he was to get KO'd at any point, he could just fall on Dave.
Yeah.
And Dave is... I haven't seen Dave in a long time, but I met last time I saw him, he wasn't the biggest guy. I have a feeling he would be collapsed under the strength of the weight.
16-bit has that pop-off power. We know that he's got that. He'll be
he has a roar.
He could probably hurt Dave with his pop-off roaring, Sindel style.
And they have to come in costume. I forgot to add that. Bit has to revive his old Catwoman costume, and Dave has to get goggles and black robes and come inside.
Why didn't Dave do that at KIT?
Dude, he had all the potential was there, and he just threw it away. Yeah. Which Zod is better? I've always wondered. I actually no, I don't know about this because over time the Eggman Zod has grown on me.
I like the normal Zod better.
You guys suck.
I don't know, man. I love I love playing. Every time I remember when I was practicing him when he first came out, I would turn on the Eggman theme from Sonic Adventure 2 and just play him because he looks like Eggman that went on a diet. He's all evil. He has buddies that help him. He uses guns. I mean, it's all there.
Okay, yeah. If Man of Steel Zod had the voice, I would do it. But he's not that mean gruff Zod. He's this refined Zod. All of the jewels is now mine. He's not where did you train? On a farm. Right. I think the other thing is his movements are more suited to the robes because he kind of has that light floaty movement. And when he's wearing all the heavy armor and stuff, it looks like he should move more like a tank. Right. I think I would have preferred if it wasn't the armor Zod from that movie, if it was him in the jumpsuit.
If he has the cape. If he doesn't have the cape, it looks awkward.
I don't know. I still like the look of that costume a lot. I think it looks really awesome. The Man of Steel one.
It does look cool.
Yeah, but I think I have to give the nod to Eggman Zod.
Woo! Yes, suck. Fuck you guys.
All right. Now that we're done talking about everybody fighting, as much fun as that was. Devastation also, I remember, that might have been the last MK9 tournament of Eris. If you guys remember, Eris played Smoke back in the day.
Was it the last one? Might have been.
I think so, because I remember seeing him compete, and I think they didn't have any more West Coast ones, did they? Was he at that? I don't know if he was at SCR 2012.
I don't even remember. Yeah, I don't remember at all.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember seeing him play Smoke, and that was kind of it. He did fairly well at EVO, I remember.
Yeah, he got 9th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he did an Injustice as well, I think.
Yeah,
Or top 16.
He got within the top 16. Yeah, so
Beat
I'm
Junior.
not sure if it was exactly. Yeah, he did beat Junior. Junior got really salty.
Did he?
It was funny because the match he beat Junior did a super, and it hit Eris, and Eris turns to us and he says, "I didn't know that was an overhead." And he still won. That's hilarious.
Damn.
Sword flip too strong.
Way too strong.
Way too strong.
Okay, another. Speaking of ninth place at Evo.
Me.
No, we're not talking about you, Ducky.
Damn
we
it.
can't always talk about you, okay?
But it's me.
I don't care.
Okay.
Another story going into Devastation was Vi and Detroit. Do you remember that?
Right. Yes, because Vi said, "I have your soul" or whatever.
Yeah, Vi beat Detroit at Evo, right? And he said, "Your soul is mine." He stood up and said it because it was a Shamir.
Right.
And that was like a blow up. But, Vi was really good back then. So basically Detroit wanted to, money match him or do some sort of exhibition match.
And they did, and it was a slobber knocker.
It was. Detroit expressed to me that he wasn't totally satisfied with that because Vi wasn't at his full potential.
Right.
But, it was 5-0, ended with a baby.
Right, it ended with a baby.
Yeah, it was like a flawless baby. It was really bad, but he did get his soul back, technically.
Yep.
It was on the stream. It was a huge, big exhibition match.
The two Alexes fought it out, and one stood.
Yep.
The other one went and ran tournaments and does his thing to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was interesting. That was I think Devastation was kind of to me the last point of those guys that kind of played MK but didn't really.
Yeah.
Kind of Chris G after that point was the only one really left over.
Yeah.
Because by that point, Online Tony, Eric Warda, kind of those guys that ran at the beginning, kind of faded away.
Yeah, they switched off of stuff.
Right. Eris, Jop probably was done by that point.
Yeah, I think so. I think Chop ended at Evo.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was pretty interesting to see. The Hitbox Cabal, that was a big thing, I remember.
Yeah, but that was overrated.
I think a little bit, and I remember everyone was tearing about it. I asked, and they were like, well, it's the Hitbox. It's broken.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Morty bought a Hitbox and was practicing Hitbox Cabal right after that. As if to, this is the new broken, we gotta do it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Didn't plan out so well.
Yeah, I can say as a pad and stick and hitbox player, because I play all of them. I switch controllers like I switch characters. I can say that it's equal to anything else. It wasn't easier. I actually have an easier time doing instant airs on... I actually had the hardest time doing instant airs on hitbox, surprisingly.
And it's probably because it's so foreign.
Well, I'm actually really fluid with hitbox. It's just you have to coordinate both of your hands and multiple fingers, 3 different fingers, to do instant airs on hitbox. But say on pad, which is the easiest for me, you just press the up back area twice and then punch. You just do boom, 1 2 1 2. That's the whole motion. 1 2 1 2. You press left thumb twice, right thumb once. It's really easy.
And I think how easy a pad stick or hitbox is going to be is probably going to depend on the person.
Yeah, obviously.
Right. Yeah, well, that was the big talk, I remember. And Rio ended up winning pretty convincingly. And that was the big talk. And then I remember his hitbox broke. That was the new drama. His hitbox broke, and what was he going to do? And we all know how that turned out.
He switched back to pad, I believe.
He did,
eventually. Yeah.
What else? B-Wiz got top 8. His first top 8. I think would be his only top 8.
I think so.
He was one of the only Raiden players ever to do it. So every other Raiden player that's not PL can hold that.
Well, every other Raiden player used another character.
That's true.
He was the only pure Raiden top 8.
Yep. He recovered from that 16-bit loss that we talked about previously.
That was so
16-bit
bad.
came back on him.
Yeah, that was a big weakness of B-Wiz early on in the game, was he would always, if he had a really big life lead and he just had to chip him out, he would do a bunch of Superman.
And that chip is garbage.
Yeah, he wouldn't chip him out. He just needed that last hit, but he didn't play it safe, and he would lose matches like that. It happened to him several times, but he was really good.
If anything, you want to do EX Lightning. I would think. Like EX Lightning and then try to go for teleport something. Try and chip him out.
Yeah, that could always work.
How much chip did Superman do?
Not anything. Oh. Like, even if you were on the last pixel, it might not work.
That's
I don't think it was that low, but it was... The thing was, like, he would be at, like, 5% life, and then he would Superman twice, and 100%.
Because it was Katana, and I think her damage had been nerfed at that point, but it was still really fucking high.
She still gets over 40 for a combo meterless.
And after Superman, she's going to get 4-2-3, which is, the optimal combo starter.
Yeah. So, like, 2 of those, and you lose an 80% life lead, especially if you don't have meter.
Yeah.
Which is literally what happened in that game.
Yeah, me and Chef fought.
Mm-hmm.
Had a really shitty match. I would end up losing to an AU guy named AU Wanna Die.
You didn't lose to Wanna Die, did you?
Yeah. Wait.
No, you lost to... Didn't you lose to, You lost to the...
AU Rest in Peace.
Rest in Peace, there we go, yeah.
All the names run together.
I remember you beat Red Reaper.
I did beat Red Reaper.
I think that was his major debut.
Yeah, it was his major debut. I played his Sector with... I played him with Nightwolf, actually.
Didn't you actually play him twice?
Yep.
Yeah, I think you beat him in both games.
Yep. With Nightwolf. Because at the time I played Nightwolf and Kano. Dude, I was a shitter player.
That was unfortunate choice.
That sounds depressing.
I'm sorry
for depressing. Life. Well, that was at the time when it was still like, oh my god, Nightwolf! Like, remember, like, at that time, like, Nightwolf was, like, hidden top 5 because Tom said so?
Did he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said that about Shazam or something, too? Shazam's not that bad?
Well, he said a lot of things. He said Raiden had 0 bad matchups in the entire game at one point.
Well, no, but I remember specifically, Nightwolf was, like, top 5, and you guys just don't know. And Lord of the Fly was doing his usual act, and, we had all that. So, common knowledge at that time was that Nightwolf was actually very, very good. Which I would find out is not the case.
Oh, no, not quite. No,
not quite. But it worked against Red Reaper. Mm-hmm. And I felt really bad because then at SCR this previous year, it was the run back.
Mm-hmm.
And Compton was actually at Devastation, so he says. I don't even remember meeting him, but he knew who I was, so maybe I did. And he saw that me and Reaper were playing first in MK pools, and he was like, dude, we got to record this. And I think you did.
I think I did too, but I don't remember.
Yeah, there was a camera set up I saw, and I picked Kenshi, he picked Sector, and it was kind of the same result. So it was kind of fun to see, like, a year has passed. Almost 2 years have passed. Let's see where we're at now. Kind of funny how it worked out that way.
Yeah, I think that was the first match that I had seen of your Kenshi since pretty much ever. Actually.
Because I hadn't, at Final Round I went, but I never got on stream, so.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time
I was impressed. You did a lot of, like, walking back and whiff punishing and standing 2 AAs and shit. It was good.
I loved it. Kenshi's walk speed was he was the Akuma-like in his walk speed. It was amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You used standing 1 for AAs, right?
I preferred standing 1, but I used 2 if I could. Right. Because I thought standing 1's faster. So
I remember very specifically watching you and being like, maybe I should use standing 1 more. That was a thought that went through my head.
I remember that was a big turning point for me. Was at a point I realized I was playing Kenshi. I did standing 1 as an anti-air, and I'm like, wow, this is really good. Like, it beats a lot of stuff. And stand 2 does too. It's just slightly slower. But yeah, and then every character I played after that, I try to use their jabs as anti-air, and that to me, like, that's when I realized, wow, jabs for most characters are pretty good.
Yeah, most characters.
Like any character, like Raiden. Stand 1 Vicinity Blast is a very good anti-air.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the Liu Kang? I mean, Liu Kang, obviously. His is a little more obvious.
Well, his standing 2 is better, actually.
Yeah, his standing 2, yeah.
But, I mean, Johnny Cage.
Yeah, Johnny Cage. Noob Saibot. Noob and Ermac also had really good stand 1s.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Noob unfortunately couldn't convert to as much damage as, like, Ermac could, but still.
Yeah, well, he got an unblockable thing set up off of it, at least.
Right, yeah.
Did he really?
He got the cloud, yeah.
Yeah, he could do 1-2 cloud.
Oh, I thought you meant, like, a portal setup or something.
Well, you could do a portal setup. But
yeah, but they're going to get out of it.
They were shitter.
There's a good chance.
Billy Boo. The Mazden. That's old school, if you guys remember that. The Mazden.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it Madsen? I thought it was.
Yeah, it was
DZ.
Madsen.
It was German, and I don't know.
It was DZ. Yeah.
But yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was using Jab a lot, and I loved walking backwards because Nightwolf couldn't do that. He didn't have a very good walk speed, and his one whiff Punisher didn't hit crouchers. Like his one very good like moving forward normal didn't hit crouchers, which was shoulder. But when I picked Kenshi, I realized walking back and doing back 3 or back 2 was amazing. And
yeah, and his forward and back walk speed were great.
Yes, they were very good. And that's part of what made him so good, in my opinion, was that he could effortlessly dance out of the range of everybody, and had really good normals to punish with. And he had specials that could punish too, like Spirit Charge and Rising Karma too.
I was bad at entering with normals with Kenshi. I sucked at that.
It's a learned talent, and it's especially since he has such an easy special move anti-air with EX Rising Karma. It was kind of like, yeah, I could learn, but either way, yeah, it was fun to play Red Reaper again, and it was fun to not play Kano anymore after that.
Switching from Kano to Kenshi.
Kano to Kenshi, yeah. I switched Ks.
Mm-hmm. Good choice.
Yeah. I remember I was getting bodied by Sonya, and I was just like, God, these characters suck. Because those two characters are particularly bad against Sonya because of down 4 military stance being so good against their type of, footsies play, which is not very good.
Yeah, she can actually outzone Kano too.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
So it was not a good look for me. But I had fun. The only thing that was a huge blow up was that I remember, and I don't know if you experienced it too, between me losing to you, I lost to you, then I played Red Reaper, and then I waited 2.5 hours for my next match. 2.5 hours. And the guys, I call them the red shirts because they were all wearing red Devastation shirts, running around like their heads were cut off. Trying to... I don't know if they were switching brackets or what was going on, but it took forever, and it drained, like, any sense of, like, I want to play this game still. Because nothing was happening, and it was not very fun.
Yeah, I do remember that. I think one big part of it was the pool system. Do you remember the pool system at Devastation?
It was goofy. It was unlike most, I remember.
Yeah, to be very specific, it was... Devastation had a unique system where, like, you paid an entrance fee and you could enter any number of games for free.
Right, which was still godlike, by the way.
Yeah, that was really cool. But then you also got to choose which pool you were in, basically, yeah. You weren't able to know which pool you were in, but it was sort of like an automatic seating type deal where, like, you
got to pick your time, right?
Yeah, there was four different time slots. And basically what happened was there was 2 Friday pools, 2 Saturday pools. The first Friday pool, there was like 12 people in it, or something, because it was early on Friday. It was there. It happened before we got there, and I remember. Let's see. First place was Marvaz, right? Or Tom. It was Marvaz or Tom. Second place was the other one. So Marvaz and Tom got first and second, and then third place was like Kamikaze, the Ermac player from NorCal.
Right.
I miss him.
I miss him too, dude. He was cool. But I mean, no offense to any of those people, but that was not the hardest pool, I mean, it was just run like a normal pool. There was not that many people. I mean, I love Kami, but he wasn't like the best player, Like, it was not that hard of a pool, considering there was like 200 people at the tournament.
Right, that was a huge... and we didn't talk about that. That was actually a huge tournament for MK.
Yeah, one of the biggest that was ever run, really.
Besides Evo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but then, okay, so then, like, pools, I think it was pools like 2 and 4 were absolutely flooded. There was like 40 people in a pool, at least, and, there was tons of killers in each pool. I mean, in my pool, I had Mr. Molina, Detroit, Shoryuken, who was good at the time.
Shoryuken Prison.
Yep, Shoryuken Prison. That was back when Sub had resets, too.
Right.
And then I had Showtime, I think, Showtime wasn't in our pool, but, I don't know, we had a pretty decently tough pool. Just Detroit and Mr. Molina alone back then that was tough. But basically what happened was not only were they just hard, big pools, but there was mini pools inside of pools.
Right.
So say like, there was a little mini pool, say with like 8 people, right? And you had to get out of that pool, and then you played in a bigger pool. That was our main pool. And when you got out of that main pool, you got in the top 8. And now the really weird / messed up thing was, well, first of all, not all pools were like that. Not all of the 4 main pools were like that. So like pool A wasn't, pool B was, pool C wasn't, pool D was, something weird like that. Just based on how many people registered for each time slot. And in at least one of them, when you got out of your mini pool, your losses reset. And what happened was in top 8 also, losses reset from the days before. So
yes, that's why Mr. Molina, like I remember, he lost 3 times.
In the tournament, 3 times. Yeah. So it was a very, very strange system. Like, you know, usually you get 4 people in winners, 4 people in losers for a top 8. There was 8 people in winners.
Yeah. They
played out a little 8-man bracket from the start.
Yeah, so, and that's why a source of the big confusion was all these guys running around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're putting it. We should put it also into scale. Devastation wasn't like a typical major where it's like AE, Marvel. Well, at the time, was it AE? Yeah, I think it was just AE at the time. AE, Marvel.
I think it was just Super.
Was it just Super?
I think so.
Let's see. Yeah, it might have been 2011. Yeah, and so we basically all we had was. It wasn't just like Super, Marvel, Vanilla Marvel, MK, Tekken, and Soul Calibur, or whatever. It wasn't just that. It was like Call of Duty, Madden, League of Legends, StarCraft.
There was even like a push-up contest and rock, paper, scissors.
Push-up, rock, paper, scissors, Dance Revolution, you know, the dance game.
Guitar Hero, right?
Guitar Hero.
Yeah, it was like it was like an MLG. So.
Yeah, and it was in a huge convention hall.
Mm-hmm. Very
that was super drab. Right, that was super drab. Had concrete floors and gray walls. It looked a little sad sometimes, but it was nice. There was a lot of vendors and there was food that was really expensive, but it was good. It was very good,
like an MLG.
Yeah,
it was very much like an MLG.
Yeah.
Of course, I've said that a million times, but it's true.
Right, and it was a huge screen. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was, and so I think the confusion of all these tournaments running together was definitely hard on the staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a lot of frustration. Like some of the TOs, they were getting like, "Oh my god, this shit is never." Like we got to at the end of the night. I randomly like Dr. Dog because he's a buddy of mine. He was like, "Do you want to enter HD Remix?" I was like, "Sure." Hadn't played the game in a couple months at that point, so I was total shit. But so I went to HD Remix, and all the top guys were in there, like Balrog, Justin, all these guys were in it. And they were like, dude, it's way too fucking late. I can't be in this tournament. So little by little, the HDR bracket shrank from it was started at like 80 players, and it dwindled down to like 22. And Valle was still there, and Viscant was still there, and a couple other top guys, and that was kind of it. So this huge HDR bracket went from like 80 to 20. And I remember Viscant specifically was sitting on a chair going, all right, if I take this tournament seriously, I'm going to be very, very upset. So what I'm going to do is not treat this as seriously, and hopefully I won't be as upset tomorrow from Marvel Top 8. And he went and played, and he did fine, whatever. But yeah, it was like, that was at the point everyone was giving up. They were just like, fuck it, play. We didn't know which was casuals and which was tourney. It was just a cluster.
Yeah, I mean, at least you didn't have to pay individual tournament fees per game.
That's true. I did not. I got to enter for free. That was a good, and it's fun, and I'm sad that it's not around anymore, and we talked about that too. Yeah, there was a lot of drama with that, and but fun times, and a good, my first major, and a lot of fun. To start off, it was a little rough. But since then, I have not had to deal with something that was as, time wasting. So for everyone that complains about the majors time wasting, I'm like, you weren't at Devastation. Just talk. Like, Final Round was kind of bad, because I don't know if you know, Final Round 2012 was run all day Sunday. That kind of sucked. Because it took forever, it went all into the night. We were the last ones there. Like, they were literally cleaning up. And MK was still going on. And it took all day. It was very tiring, but we got through it. And that still wasn't even as Devastation, poorly ran. So, props to Devastation. I'm sad that it's gone.
Yeah. I mean, aside from everything, it was a very pleasant experience. I had a bunch of crazy out of tournament experiences. I'll just summarize them all because we're talking about Devastation for a long time. But like, I walked around through the downtown Phoenix with Rio for 2 hours at 3 a.m. trying to find food. And when we asked the woman at the hotel, she laughed at us. Like, there's nothing open.
The concierge?
Yes, the concierge laughed at us. They're like, we can sell you this salad for $20, or you can go back to your room. So there was that. There was Tom getting on with that drunk girl, which was really weird, which made some of you may have seen my Facebook picture. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
There was there was so many shenanigans. There was a bunch of like Rio took some sketchy looking dude's ID at some point, and
oh my god,
me and Rio were pretty cool back then, so we had a lot of crazy experiences. But
there was a rave right across the street at the Phoenix Convention Center.
Oh yeah, Diplo was playing there, and that was the first time I got to meet DJ El Toro.
Damn,
that sounds unpleasant.
Yeah. Also, the first time I got to meet a bunch of people, like I got to meet Showtime there, who's a really, really, really cool dude. And I got to meet Mr. Molina. What's that? I'm blanking. Runway Mafia. A lot of what's his face? What is Prospect? That's his name. Cat's brother. I met a lot of people there. It was a good experience. A lot of Arizona guys, of course.
Right. And the other thing I remember as far as shenanigans, because I live here, so it wasn't too far from my house, so I actually didn't stay in a hotel, so I didn't get to endure any shenanigans. Mm-hmm. There were two funny things. One was I rode home because Tom was staying with Morty and Sal. Mm-hmm. They were housing him, and I remember the funny thing was that Tom decided to stay the night at the hotel, I'm assuming with that girl. Because he just ran off, and they were like, we don't know where Tom is. We rode in with him.
He was going to. He actually ended up passed out, I believe, in Showtime's room without asking.
That's funny. But yeah, I remember that, and I was with. It was because Juicebox is actually friends with Morty and South, and so he was like, "I need to ride." And we all ended up going to IHOP, and I remember I was doing Macho Man impressions, and I think I was doing it directed towards Tom. Mm-hmm. Like it was like challenging Tom to a WWE title match, and it was fucking hysterical, and everyone was staring at us. Because it was like 2 a.m. and all these these dead-eyed people are at IHOP and they're just like, what the fuck is going on? That was awesome. Because Tom is endless you could do anything. Oh yeah, Tom Brady, you are gonna get the Macho Man, yeah. And I was just going nuts. The Macho Man. Tom, I've seen all the Sub-Zeros from here to Idaho, and you are the worst. Oh, yeah.
Okay, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun. And the other thing I remember was that I went to Morty and Sal's when Tom was there, and they were streaming, and Tom was on the mic doing the Tom thing where he's talking to stream monsters. And I remember he kept calling Perfect Legend at random times to talk to him about whatever just happened, and was like, God, did you hear about this? And then they would just talk about it.
Oh man, okay. Last thing I'm going to say is I remember when that was happening, and then after he left, you got on the mic and did a Tom impression that was so good that everybody thought that you were Tom.
Oh yeah, I did do that. Yeah, that was back when my Brady was good. It's not good anymore, but yeah, back in the day, I used to do a good one.
Yeah, that was excellent. But
yeah.
That's Devastation in a nutshell, man. I don't think there's much else I had to say about it.
No.
Old times, man.
Good tournament, decent experience.
Decent tournament, good experience.
Okay, I like that better.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. I'm so sad that Macho Man died. That was like right before he died, too. When I was doing all that, so it was kind of bad timing.
Damn, that is bad timing.
It was, but he saved us from the rapture. I don't know if you know that.
I wasn't informed.
You weren't informed, but he did. So, one other thing that I wanted to ask, not ask. We have to go over Wednesday night fights every week. We do it.
Yep.
And we are West Coast based, so Chef, run us down.
All right, last Wednesday night fights. Pretty decent show up. I think it was like 15-ish people, 16-ish people. We had first place was Theo. Second place was me somehow. Third place was Nubcakes, Mr. Nubcakes. And then we had Steve at fourth, Tyron and Brad at fifth, Crazy, and Filipino Man at seventh. Let me think. Let's see, what were some good matches that I wanted to talk about? Ducky, did you watch much of Wednesday night fights?
I think, but I don't remember anything specific.
Dang.
Did Steve beat?
It's okay.
Did Steve beat Tyrant?
Steve did beat Tyrant in the second round.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, that's those two go pretty back and forth. Steve says that Nightwing's really annoying for Grundy. I believe I heard him say that yesterday. So that's they usually have good matches. Filipino Man beat Godspeed round one.
Oh.
Filipino Man beat Godspeed round one.
That is.
Mr. Black Adam, top 8 evil Black Adam.
Right.
And then let's see.
You know what I remember the most is you dropping tons of GL combos.
Oh
God!
God!
The most.
Wait! What are you talking about? I did not drop that many combos. Somebody else said that too.
You dropped a lot of combos.
I didn't. I dropped one where there was a back three and it OTG'd him instead of hitting.
You did that to me like 3 times in a row.
Oh God! Yeah.
You dropped a lot of combos.
I did not drop a lot of combos.
You dropped a lot of combos.
Dude, are you sure I wasn't doing like weird resets?
I mean, really, if you dropped a GL combo.
This was before you could do the forward 3 stuff.
Yeah, but I have a bunch of weird resets.
I don't care. You were dropping stuff.
I don't believe it. Whatever. I won with him.
Well, whatever. That's fine. You still dropped stuff.
Whatever.
Damn.
We got to see me use a lot of different characters. Oh, cool! I get to talk about me. Game
now
one,
you be like me.
Yes, I know. Yeah, actually, just like you, game one against Cash. Cash used Scorpion. I used Raven.
I saw. I remember that.
Yep, I ended up winning that with my Ducky-inspired Raven. Game 2, I played Crazy, who I used... first I used Lex, my Revolver-inspired Lex. And I went 1-1. Then last game I switched to my Ducky-inspired Raven again and won against his Martian. I like that matchup. And then I went GL against Nubcakes, so I've already used 3 characters. And then I fought Theo. Used... What did I use? Lex. Lost there. Fought him again. Used GL. Didn't work. Used Aquaman. Did really well. Then I freaking got hit by 2 jump threes like an idiot. So I used a bunch of characters that tournament.
Wow. The roulette continues to spin.
Oh yeah. Forever.
Alright.
Let's see. What other crazy matches did we end up seeing?
Sonic Brew Brad eternally 5th place.
Eternally. He says he's gotten 5th place since the game came out, basically. He got 3rd once. And just 5th every week.
It seems like every time you recap it, I hear Sonic Boom Brad got 5th.
Yeah, man, he's literally eternally 5th. I told him this week I have confidence that he's going to break 5th, though. Oh. Hopefully it's up and not down.
Right. He'll break 5th, but he'll get 7th.
He's going to win. He's the best.
Could happen.
But, aside from that, it was a pretty standard tournament. Nubs did really well. I ended up beating Nubs twice. I like that matchup a lot.
Scumbag Batman.
Get out of here.
Scumbag.
You're just a scumbag.
Hardly a counter pick, but it is, I think, in Green Lantern's favor.
Yeah. Then but aside from that, I mean, he beat everybody that he fought. Obviously, he beat. I can't even find what's his matches. He beat Tyrant. He beat Steve. I don't know. It's pretty normal Wednesday night fights. Theo botting everybody with Aquaman as usual. No.
Probably why I don't remember any of it because it's always so similar.
It's always doing the trident stab. That's how many entrants did you guys have?
Oh yeah, it was 15 or 16.
All right, kind of the normal.
My local had 5 people.
Yeah.
We had 15 the week before, and I'm kind of salty.
Wow, in 1 week you scared them all off.
That's what I was saying, dude. Nobody wants to play against the Raven that much.
You know what's funny is that so the guy that runs the thing decided, okay, hey, you guys can do round robin, and so I went first and 3-0'd everybody, and then he paid me out while they were finishing the rest of the tournament.
Damn. No wonder.
It's pretty bad.
Scaring off all the children.
It's funny. Just because a couple guys couldn't make it, because they had just done casuals the day before, and casuals usually end at like 6 a.m., and so that's part of the reason why I hadn't gone, is because I was like, okay, I felt like shit, and then also, I don't want to be out till 6 in the morning. And
yeah, that's kind of annoying.
What's the point of going to casuals if you're not going to go to your tournament the next day?
Yeah, I know, it was weird. So, I don't know.
One of the issues I have with our casuals is that a lot of times we end up going, and it's usually at Haz's house. We'll go, and then me and Evan, I'm pretty straight edge as is. Evan likes to have fun, but he's kind of tightly laced too, like he kind of doesn't. But everyone else will get fucking high as shit every fucking time. And as usual, the casuals don't extend much farther if you're under the influence. Nobody, in my opinion, gets better when they're high that I play against in any way.
Slayer, somehow.
It's the Slayer? I haven't played him, so I wouldn't know.
He only practices while he's under the influence, so he doesn't know how to play when he's sober. It's weird. It's like a problem for him.
Oh, kind of weird. But in our case, I don't see it. And it kind of sucks because then Evan's like the only one left. And we played each other a billion times. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I wish they would lay off maybe once or twice. But it's, it's whatever. I can't really... If they have their choice, then they have their choice.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely one of those situations when we go over there. I'm not one for that kind of stuff, pretty much.
Me neither.
Neither am I.
Bullshit. This guy looks like... Oh, come on. This guy's token. Come on.
I hang out with stoners all the time, but I'm not. I don't smoke. I don't drink. The only time I've been high on anything was gas at the dentist and the anesthesia when I was getting my wisdom teeth out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He just acts like he's high when he's at 2 a.m. He starts laughing at everything. He's like...
yeah. Oh. It's kind of bad.
Just making, like, fart noises and stuff.
Jesus.
He's like 12 years old. Give him a break.
That's true, he is 12.
Yeah.
He's like
12.
Cygnus's age.
Damn.
Cygnus is 12. Remember that?
Yeah.
I think that was on KTP. He's like, Cygnus looks like he's 12. And he's like, he's not 12. What else? Oh, there's one other thing. I remember you said that you wanted to talk about was that you don't think anyone's really playing top tier.
Yeah. This is a topic that I would definitely have been wanting to bring up for a while.
Okay.
And that is the fact that, there are a few people that play top tiers, but there are so many people that don't play top tier in this game. I mean, if in MK9, which is something that most of our viewers are familiar with, you always had to be afraid of Cabal. You always had to be afraid of Lao.
Kenshi.
You always had to be afraid of... Well, you didn't always have to be afraid of Kenshi, but...
Whatever.
But in a major, you would. Sonya's, Cage's, all stuff like that. You always had to be afraid of them. In this game, why are there no, Supermen? Or, there's very few Martians. Raven, who I think is top tier. There's only you, pretty much. Where are they, the fact is, look at something like GGA, Oh, okay. Max Intensity is great, He's a great player, great Bane, best Bane, probably. But he never has to worry about running into a Superman. And that's crazy, their meta is so weird, and it's messed up in a way. Imagine a meta of, AE, original AE, where you didn't ever have to fight you. You never had to worry about the character. It would be so different. But I just don't understand why. Look at GGA, okay? Here's my big example. Heroic Legacy, who's a Shazam, who I really don't like. He's an idiot. We had a big argument before. He said that Shazam doesn't have any matchups. He's 5-5 with everybody, because all he needs to do is knock them down and win all your 50-50s. And that's retarded. It's stupid.
That sounds smart.
Let me play devil's advocate. Could it be, because I know Heroic Legacy, he's a player, and he always kind of plays these weird... He's like a big anime, I don't know if he's anime specifically, but he plays all these weirdly goofy games.
Yeah.
And this would probably fit under his umbrella. Could he kind of be saying that Shazam, if you're worrying about matchups with Shazam, You're not on meta 1. You're still on meta 1. You got to advance to meta 2 where you're like, I'm going to knock them down and I'm going to put them in mix-ups.
But the problem is you need to understand how the tools work so that you can get your knockdowns. You know? I mean, I need to understand how to get past Black Adam zoning and how to punish it and, you know, how to punish each person's wake-ups and, you know, what their options are. Like, you know, even say Black Adam, it's really easy to punish both of his wake-ups. But say Green Arrow, you have to, or Zatanna, yeah, you have to guess, you know, different ways. It's like a 1 in a third chance.
Yeah.
So, like, there are matchups. I mean, I sort of vaguely get what he's saying, but I did bring that up to him. I said, well, don't you have to know how to get the knockdown? And he said, it doesn't matter. If you have to worry about getting the knockdown, then you're not playing the character right. But, I mean, you do have to worry about getting the knockdown, you know?
Well, because I kind of identified with it, because I saw that our whole argument thread. Mm-hmm. And the only reason I identify is because in the last few times I've played Street Fighter 4, I was really trying to learn T-Hawk.
Uh-huh.
And with T-Hawk has a lot of, if you put it on paper, just these shit matchups. Where he just can't get anything started. Blanca's a big one. Blanca's like his 9-1. Mm-hmm. But if you're playing against a Blanca, you can't worry about, I can't punish ball, I can't do this, I can't do that. You need to land low punch Typhoon and get a option select knockdown mix up going. And you can't really worry about, okay, I can't do this, I can't do that. Because you're a grappler and you're just kind of goofy like that. You're going to make people guess at a certain point when you get into a range. So I think, to me, that's kind of the grappler persona. And I think that's what he was trying to say. I don't think he meant literally like, well, everything's 5-5. I don't know if he meant that specifically. I think he kind of meant...
At first I didn't think so either, but he said it pretty literally. Later on, we were trying to get him to clarify. But, I mean, I don't know. He's not a straight grappler either. I mean, you're gonna have to understand how the tools work. You know, like, how do you get around Black Adam dive kicks? You know, you can't just go in blind. You know, there are matchups with him. You need to know the tools. And it's not like you're just going to mix someone up through command grabs with him either. You've got like crossover
2 torpedo.
crossover torpedoes. Yeah, 2 torpedo, the best mix up in the world. You've got, you know, sweeps, dash through neutral jump cross ups or non cross ups. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Like baits and mid run forward threes. I don't know. But anyway, one way or another, I don't like him. I don't think he's very good. He spams sweep a lot. And
what's his sweep on block?
-11.
Oh, that's a lot.
Pretty bad. Anyway, he got third at the last GGA. Okay, GGA had 19 people. Okay, and he got third. And I said, well, how does someone like that get third? You know, I mean, regardless, you know, you wouldn't get third at like, you know, a tournament like Wednesday Night Fights. But I looked and I saw who he had to play. So the first match he had to play Rational Jim, who was a Flash. He's not bad, but he's not the best. All right, and Rational Jim took a game off of him, and Heroic Legacy won. No offense to Jim. Now, next game he had to fight a Doomsday, which is no problem for Shazam, right? It's probably Shazam's favorite. So Doomsday second game. Third game he has to fight a Catwoman. That's also not that bad. It's a weird little, you know, bunch of weird little characters. Okay, then the next match he has to fight. Where is he? He has to fight a Lobo. Again, another no problem matchup. Not a weird, not a high tier character. Next matchup he has to fight a Bane. Same thing. Weird, you know, these weird, strange mid-tier mix-up characters that have no projectiles. That's all he's fighting. And then third, or not third, but next he fights a Scorpion. Like, that is the path to getting third at GGA. Like, where are the Superman? Where are the Aquaman? The Martians? The Black Adams? The... I don't know who else is top tier. Batgirls. You know?
Raven,
yeah, sure. I don't understand it. Green Lantern, even. Like, I want to know why people are so against playing top tiers in this game. I mean, you look at Wednesday Night Fights, we have hella top tiers. We've got tons of them. We've got Martians all over the place, Supermans, Aquamans. We've got 2 Batgirls, 3 Batgirls. We've got top tiers up ass. Flash. But, you know, you look at this tournament, their winners were Catwoman, Scorpion, Shazam, Bane, Doomsday, Lobo. Like, I don't know. It's not just their scene either. There's a lot of scenes that they lack a lot of top tier characters, and I just want to know why that is in this game. What do you guys think?
I think it's because this game's just more like it's more balanced than say MK was. Like it's decently balanced that you can pick almost any character and do relatively well with them, unless you're running into those matchups. And then also those scenes, nobody's playing those characters, so they have no reason to be they don't need to pick another character. Like maybe if there was a Superman there, like Max would have a counterpick for that or something. But because he doesn't have to worry about it at his locals, no reason to pick another character.
Yeah, but I mean, not just at locals; it's at like majors too. I mean,
he doesn't have a Superman to practice against.
Yeah. But I mean, it's crazy to think that there's a character that has, I mean, you look at Superman, you look at Aquaman, specifically those two. That it's very hard to tell whether or not they even have a bad matchup.
Superman loses to Raven, and
Possibly.
Aquaman probably does too. So fuck you.
Possibly. All right, maybe. Anyway, but why would people not want to play those characters? It's like people don't want to win in this game,
Well, they're having success without those characters, so I don't think they see a reason for them to pick those characters.
I don't know. I mean, what about a person like, say, look at say Hruza de Bruza, Okay, he's playing Nightwing. He's getting not top 3 every week. Why not be like, hey, I can pick up Superman. He's a good matchup against every single character that's a GGA.
I have no idea at that point, other than I don't know.
What do you think, Kippo?
Stick with the character.
Well, and I can talk a little bit from personal experience. My kind of philosophy in fighting games is I understand the whole playing to win mentality. Like I totally get it. I totally respect it. But I got to play with who's most fun, or else I just won't have that great of a time. Like to me, when I win, that's not what I crave the most. Mm-hmm. I like feeling like I was playing pretty good, with the character that I like the most. And I'm not really I don't care like I'm not super into I don't jerk myself off to I overthought this guy so much. I just like to play and have fun with the character that I think is cool. Mm-hmm. So, having said that, when the game first came out, I played Superman die hard. I was playing him very, very seriously. And I was doing very, very good. Now, there was no tournaments I'd win to when I still played Superman. But locally, I was doing very, very, very well. No, I would argue no one could contest with the Superman that I had. And the problem I had, though, was I just didn't have a lot of fun playing as Superman. I thought the pattern, I felt it was actually making me worse because I would really kind of just do 4-2-3 in breath, do the laser zoning, and that I really didn't have to put in a whole lot of application. It was just perform and then do it when it hits. And it wasn't fun at all to me. I lost it. So I switched to Green Lantern. And I think Green Lantern is a lot of fun, and I also happen to think he's probably, pretty top. He's pretty good. So I had a lot of fun with him for a while, and I only ended up switching to Deathstroke because I played him and I thought he was really fun. But I still think Green Lantern's fun too. But from my perspective, I think it's a matter of I think that the characters that are top tier in this game are super unfun and rote and repetitive and dumb. Like Superman, God. He's good, but the dive punch thing is probably the only really cool thing about him. Other than he's going to play footsies, and that's it. I mean, it's going to hit or it's not. Mm-hmm. Probably pretty good either way. And then you have Aquaman, who is literally pretty much Trident Rush. And as much as Tom would like to play it up that he's super hard to play, he's not. Mm-hmm. And he's really simple. And that's not to slight to anyone that plays him. That's how I think the character is. Uh-huh. And I think Black Adam was when he was really good. Black Adam was the same way. The only character that I think is super good that's not like that is probably Martian. But even then, he still has his repetitive. I mean, he's going to do jump 3 with trait into teleport or something like that. So I think a lot of it boils down to I think the top 2 characters are super, super unfun, which sucks. I think personally for the growth of a game, that sucks. Mm-hmm. But I still think the game is relative. Like, I don't think your comparison earlier with A.E. Yun, I don't think there's an A.E. Yun in this game. A.E. Yun was super broke.
Yeah, that's true. But it was just, it was an example. But
right.
Look at Aquaman. Aquaman is really broke too.
I would say Aquaman is more of a Akuma type, maybe, where he can kind of just do it all, and he's really abusive. But that's probably but then he has his moments where he doesn't absolutely destroy the guy. Like Daigo, Ryu versus Akuma, it's a fairly even matchup, and I think Daigo totally exposed that. So I think Aquaman has a lot more matchups like that, where he can fight the guy on an even level, but he's still pretty good overall, I would argue.
Yeah, fair enough.
Really good, yeah. So to me, it's a matter of these guys. We're all trying to have fun, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna play the character that appeals to us the most, and so I think a lot of the scenes are kind of focused on that. Or or like Pig, who kind of does both, but he always ends up picking kind of top tier anyways. And then, that's kind of just how I see it. I don't really see... I don't think it's a problem or anything. I think the game is, as it's working out, some of the top characters... again, Aquaman has that weakness of you can knock him down, and there's characters that have really good Oki and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's characters, with the weaknesses. And, so I don't think it's that big a deal, honestly. To me, watching 16-bit play, obviously there were some people that didn't know how Catwoman works.
Mm-hmm.
But he still played really well, was outplaying the guys he beat. Max the same way. You could know what, Saltface plays online a lot. I'm sure he's played Bane's before.
Uh-huh.
He could not deal with just the overall Bane mix-up, which I don't think anyone could. It's just a straight guess most of the time. So I don't think, and then PPJ won NEC. I don't think it's a slight against these guys to say they're playing these kind of weird characters and their meta is weird. I think they're good players playing good characters and doing well.
They are. I'm not trying to take away anything from any of the players, but it's so weird how lacking their meta is of certain characters. Not on top of the characters I already said. If you look at, they don't have any real, Batman players either, or who else? There was one more I was just thinking of.
Raven.
I already said Raven.
I don't care.
I don't know. It's weird because I feel like SoCal has a very, very complete meta. We're missing a few characters. We're missing a good Bane. But aside from that, we've got nearly all the characters, and nearly all the good characters, too. If you can't deal with Superman every week, you're going to lose. If you can't deal with Aquaman every week, you're going to lose.
You'll probably still lose anyway.
Get out of here.
It's true.
Yeah. But it feels like our scene is very complete. We had a Catwoman, we have Scorpions, we've got Batgirls, we had a Zod at one point, even though he was a fraud.
Yeah. Oh my god, the fraud Zod?
Fraud. Kneel before fraud. But it just doesn't seem to me like all the scenes are so complete. It's very, very strange to me, and I feel like certain characters are being overrated because there is nobody to stop them. We might disagree on this, but I think Bane is being slightly overrated because he's obviously a good character, but he has some really death matchups that
Superman
people don't end up seeing. Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because I kind of put Bane in that same category where I was talking about T-Hawk earlier. I just want the knockdown. But Bane happens to cover every someone's knockdown option super, super good. It's to me, he's in a really weird place where I wouldn't place him in a conventional spot because I don't know how he works yet. Uh-huh. But from what I've seen, he looks like, because he can cover, and his wake up is retarded. Trying to pressure that character on wake up is a fool's option sometimes because he can just do the uppercut and it's all right, or he'll just do something and he's got armor and you're kind of fucked. So to me, he's in this weird spot where he's probably super, super good, and all he needs to do... He's probably a character who could have this really bad matchup. Because, Superman's wake-ups, they're good, but they're not, super spectacular. Mm-hmm. They're serviceable. So I'm thinking if Bane can get past the lasers, can get past all that and knock him down, Superman might have, a tough time getting up, which is enough... And it won't sway the matchup any. Of course not. It shouldn't. But it's something you have to deal with. To me, that's why Bane is as a threat, a huge threat.
I don't know if you guys saw PL versus Max hit Frosty, but it was really bad.
I didn't.
It was really, 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 really bad. That matchup doesn't look good at all. Like, it was bad.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other character that GJ doesn't have any of, is Sinestro, who I think is another character that's extremely threatening. But
Sinestro's dumb.
yeah.
Fuck you, cowboy. No, I love you. Sort of.
Well, yeah, I wanted to talk about that. I feel like the meta for the scene it's underdeveloped because of a lack of top tiers. I mean, where were the Superman players at KiT?
Well, not a lot of people play Superman, weirdly enough.
Yeah, but they should, because he's really good. Really, really good. I mean, no matter what, you got to admit he's at least good. I mean,
yeah,
I don't agree that
he's, that.
I mean, some people in general, like, even if somebody doesn't think that he's top 3, you got to admit he's good. I mean, where are the Superman players? That changes so many matchups. I mean, have you ever tried playing Doomsday against Superman, or Bane against Superman, or Lex against Superman, or Green Lantern against Superman? It's all these matchups that.
Man, don't talk to me about Green Lantern.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
You did. I'm sorry. I'm hurt.
Or like, where are the Ravens? I guess the reason is nobody knows how good Raven is, but Raven completely shuts down certain characters.
Raven's fucking stupid. Jesus Christ. Chef, you're right about everything.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I like when people say that, which is never.
I know, I was about to say that.
No, but I mean, who were the Aquaman players that we had at KiT? Okay, we had Sickness. It was his first venture offline, right?
Right.
Like, okay, yeah, he lost to Max. I think it was close, right? It was
close.
Down to the third game. Yeah.
Yeah, it was close.
I don't remember who else he lost to. But
it was PPJ.
Oh right, Hawkgirl.
Yeah.
That's right. But I mean
Cock.
I have to save that.
Cock.
I don't. He's not 18 yet, so if he says that, I think this becomes an illegal situation.
That's true. He might be 13.
You'll never know.
Don't say it like that.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Don't tease us.
Oh, I'll tease you.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Now this is getting into
it really
more like
is.
a hype Skype call.
We're getting in too deep.
Oh god. Oh god.
All right. Well, okay. Here's my retort. Now, I would argue that the top tier characters, to me, it seems like if you, okay, like I'll use, let's say, who can I use an example? Well, I'll say this: 16-bit, despite not having like the top tier character experience, he was looking like to me he studies, like he knows the game, and it's panning out. Like as long as you don't, like if you don't have specific experience against a matchup, knowing the game, knowing like what at least they can do, is going to pan out a lot better than, well, even if you don't have, like he looked really good against Batman. Like he knew Batman, he knew where to pinpoint the weaknesses. So to me, even if you don't have the meta, of them being in there all the time, if you're doing your homework, to me, you can do fine. Because these characters, there's a certain point where you can do, it's all out there, all the information is out there. Mm-hmm. Just put a little grind into it and you can figure stuff out.
Yeah, people should go into practice mode with characters more.
Yeah, like for example, I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal. It's just a good example. My meta is Ares, and my meta was Ares and Nightwing and like Flash and who else? Nightwing.
He always plays Zod.
Sometimes Zod, but he didn't play Zod at first. He played like Joker or something.
Ew.
That was my meta. Ares, Nightwing, Zod, some Batman, and Joker. And then you guys came over with all these Supermen, and I did just fine, but only because I do a lot of studying. Like, I try and figure these things out and try to figure out things in my head. So I didn't have any of the experience, because I don't play online, I refuse. But I kind of had a knowledge of where it was going to go. And again, it's theory fighting pretty much, but it kind of worked out for me. So to me, that was me looking at the game and going like, okay, if I have the tools necessary to fight, to do anything, and Green Lantern certainly has tools, I can study these characters, see what they do, And it's the kind of game where you can put yourself into situations where you can always win, and you're not fighting, God, just the brokenness. You're just fighting a really, really good character, but you can always do your homework on the character. So then it boils down to you versus the player, which is always hard to do, but that's any tournament. That's any fighting game.
Yeah, but, I mean, I'm not saying they can't do fine against those type of characters, but, I mean, basically, when you have people like 16-bit who go around and they're always kind of like going for the truth, like, oh, this is the truth, you know, like matchup police.
Right.
It's not like they have anything invested. It's just they always want the truth to be, you know, exposed.
Right.
But they base that on scenes that are incomplete. I mean, we've seen, especially since like NEC and stuff, we've seen, oh wow, this game looks a lot more balanced than it used to, and I think a part of that is a lot of people drop the top tiers. And, I mean, also, along with the patch. You know, and it just, I don't know, it bugs me that, you know, when they're always looking for the truth, always looking to expose something. Like, I feel like they're totally ignoring the fact that their meta is not, or, you know, the entire Injustice meta is not complete right now. It's totally lacking top tiers. I mean, you know, look at MK. When you went to a tournament at MK, there were so many top tiers. So many top tiers that it gave us a great idea of which characters are really good, and how the game was really going to play out. But there's just so many mid-tiers in this game.
All right, I have an argument here.
Okay.
I think in MK, the people that were super, super top tier and dumb was super obvious. I mean, you look at Cabal, and yeah, he's fucking broke. No way around it. Everything you can see him do. Kenshi, he's fucking busted. Too. Yeah, he's fucking busted. There's no way around. That specific move, you can look at it and go, that's fucking broken. And then who else is like Cyrax? Enough said. I mean, you can look at Cyrax and you know why he's immediately super good.
Mm-hmm.
We're in an Injustice. It's a young game. We haven't developed absolutely everything, and I think I don't think we've had enough time with this patch even alone to know, well, who are really the top two. I mean, we have an idea, and Martian and like Superman probably and Aquaman probably. Those are probably safe bets. Mm-hmm. But they're still they're bets. They're not like fully. I don't think we've had everyone meet together enough to really distinguish, because they've been really weird. When everyone has met was NEC. It was won by a hot girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kumite in Tennessee was won by, Batman, which was a little more traditional, a little more in line with the top tiers. But still, there was, Bane and Harley and Catwoman and all this other stuff. I just don't think we've had enough time to really let the game flesh out enough to really kind of put, okay, this is the meta's being played wrong. I think, to me, that is the mistake. Saying that the meta is being played wrong, when really, I don't know if it's that. I just think the scenes are different. And we don't know, obviously the East Coast gave up on Superman when the West Coast didn't, and then we showed why that was folly.
Mm-hmm.
But, at the end of the day, Hot Girl still won. So maybe we just need to do... I mean, obviously, I don't disagree with you that Superman is ultra top, or that Aquaman is ultra top. But I still think there's a lot of discovering left to do with the game, and that certain characters will probably end up doing a lot better. Like, I used to think Deathstroke was bad. I saw the nerfs and was like, oh, he's done. He'll never be relevant again. But as I've played the character and really studied him, I don't think so anymore. I think he's actually very solid. Does everything what I think the good characters in the game do very well. So I think we just need more time. And I'm still learning things every day. So I think it's a little too quick to think it's late. I'm sorry. It's a little too soon to say that we're all playing the game wrong. I don't know if we're at that point. We can say that yet.
I don't know. I think the meta is just totally out of whack right now. I mean, I don't know. GJ is just such an easy, obvious example. Like, if there was like one really good Batman there, one really good Green Lantern, one really good Superman, one really good Aquaman, it would change everything. It would change their entire game. But I don't know. I mean, obviously, there's still more to learn. I wish that we could see. I don't know. I wish we could see the other scenes what we see at Wednesday Night Fights, which is people doing 100% of what they can do to win, as opposed to just picking up their favorite character and just playing their favorite character, which is fun to see also. But I don't know. I feel like the tournaments are very skewed right now.
It's possible. I mean, it's totally possible. I like to be in the camp of I'm not sure yet. But I think you live in the scene. You have a better idea. I don't. I live in my scene. My meta is extremely skewed if you looked at it the way you do. Like I said, I have Ares, sometimes Martian Manhunter, sometimes Scorpion.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you guys, go to tournaments and stuff and do your little locals and stuff, you don't say, oh, look, I mean, you generally, as far as I know, you don't say, oh, look, this character won our local. This character is top tier.
No, I don't. No.
Right. I mean, I don't know, Ducky. What do you think about this whole situation?
I'm pretty much siding with you on it, but I also see Hippo's point where we don't know completely yet, and we do need to wait a little bit. But I think at the end of it, we'll see that a character Bane isn't as good as GGA is saying, he is, or whatever. I think that's what will happen once we see, if Max goes to more majors. Because I've heard he's going to SCR. If he goes, we'll see how he does against the Superman players, the Aquamans.
Yeah, I mean, if he beats Dio and beats Slayer, and just totally destroys all of our guys, okay, I'll hold that forever. But I don't know. I just like to see it evolve with all the characters.
Yeah, I mean, you got a good point.
I'd also wish GJ would stop up talking all their players that just win at their locals and do stuff at their locals, because they do have an incomplete meta. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue. They're missing so many characters, and so many characters that we at least know are strong vaguely. And I mean, obviously they're a good scene, but I just wish they would stop talking so much about their locals, like they mean everything, or certain little wins mean everything.
It's the best.
Yeah, this sounds like there's a story behind this.
There's quite a few things. I think a lot will be coming to light within the next few days. Of course, there was the big thing where they were calling out Cage Redfield for the Lobo.
Now, I don't know about this. Please explain.
Okay, well, Cage Redfield is one of our hype Skype guys. He's awesome. He's a cool dude.
He's the best. I love him.
JD Bromeister.
No.
I'm sorry. And basically, he was the first major Lobo guy. And Phil Pops was originally a Shazam player, switched over to Lobo. And they exchanged some words, basically. Basically, Phil Pops said, oh, Cage, you're downplaying this character. This character's really good. And so they kind of disliked each other. It kind of ended up, kind of getting into an argument. And GJ was backing him, and we were backing Cage. And
right.
So, they've just always had a lot of arguments. And this tournament specifically, we saw Phil Pops play against Master D, actually.
Master D, right.
And on commentary, he beats
This
Master
made
D.
me salty as fuck.
And immediately they're like, oh, well, Cage Redfield has to hold that, man. He
barely won too. I'd like to point out he barely won against Master D.
Yeah, they're like, oh, Cage Redfield said that Phil Pops never achieved anything in tournaments, and now he's got to hold that. And then it's like, oh, well, you're speaking a little bit too early, because Master D won the second and the third game. So then the next match we saw was him versus we saw Phil Pops versus Reno Rax, and Reno Rax just bodied him.
They don't have a Lobo either. I would like to point out they don't have a Lobo in their scene. Yeah. Well, actually, Soulface plays him a little, but whatever.
He played that really well, though. I don't know.
He did. No, he knows the matchup.
And Reno's a really good player. So, I mean, it's not that I'm actually blowing up Phil Pops for being bad, but it's the fact that they're talking so much shit for him. And I mean, okay, he goes and he fights Glass Sword at a local, who's a very inexperienced Raven. I mean, he lost to Green Lantern, and that's one of, if not the worst matchup that I've ever played, because me and Ducky play all the time.
Yep. That shit's bad.
It is bad. And, I mean, they're like, oh, look, he beat this inexperienced Raven at a local, and that's like a 5-5 anyway, right?
Yeah, I'm still not 100%. It's either 5-5 or 6-4 Raven. I need to find out a couple things first.
Close-ish.
Yeah.
But basically, they're up talking this shit out of Phil Pops, and then they made a video calling out Cage. Saying,
I saw
Cage,
that.
why don't you show up and stuff? And then I posted that there, and I said, well, okay, Cage taught me how to play Lobo. Cage completely taught me how to play Lobo, and Ducky, who has a retardedly good Lobo, by the way. But I said, okay, then I will money match you in Cage's stead. because Cage, due to circumstances, can't make it out to SCR, most likely. And so I said, okay, money match me, because I learned everything from Cage, and so, I'm going to basically stand up for him. And so I said, money match me, $50, first to 5, Lobo mirrors. And all of GGA, jumped on me, and they're like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And so I said, okay, well, is that a no? So you're not accepting? And they basically didn't accept.
They kept dancing around it. It was really frustrating.
Yeah, they did. But, yeah, I'm just sort of getting tired of GGA trying to blow people up a lot. And
I'm going to be the Lobo of America at my next local, by the way, because Double My Star was like, oh, go win a local, then you can pop off. So I'm going to go win my next local with Lobo. And I'm going to be the Lobo of America now.
Ducky's going to easily win with his Lobo.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. I'm the best.
Yeah, but
so whatever.
Basically, I'm a little bit tired of some things that GGA has been doing recently, so I think within the next few days we're going to be seeing a thread, a call out for a team money match, which you guys can be looking forward to.
It's going to be awesome.
It is.
They're going to get bodied. Any one of our people on our team could OCV them. It'll be great.
The idea is we're going to have a team of West Coasters that have little grudges against GGA, and for certain things, and it's going to be good. I'm really confident in our team. So hopefully GGA accepts. This is the sort of first public call out. We'll see what they say. But yeah, I mean, they're going around really boosting themselves up and talking a lot of shit recently, so I would like to put that to the test.
It's going to be awesome.
I'll say my piece and then we can wrap up.
Okay.
I think, first of all, as far as the best Lobo, I mean, Maxter, obviously. No question.
Most successful Lobo.
I don't know. Ninth in the tournament playing. I mean, I looked at his play, and it was, I mean, the lack of tick grabs was bothering me. But taking Arma down to his fucking limits, it's a good accomplishment. It's hard to...
I can say that there was a lot of lack of Lobo experience. Like, he was doing things like jump in 1 into 25 frame moves, which is, obviously really interruptible, and
right, yeah.
People weren't understanding how to punish him, and he was punishing things that people didn't understand he was punishing, so they were continued to do it. Like, Insane versus Maxter was really bad. He kept getting punished for doing blocked tridents over and over and over.
Oh yeah, I saw that, yeah.
So as far as success, obviously he got pretty far, but he also, in my opinion, he had a decently not hard path to, where he was going. He had to beat a Harley player and Insane who didn't know the matchup, and not many others, really. And I mean, you look at Smar, money matched him in the room afterwards, beat him really bad.
I played him, and I know Lobo pretty damn well, so he.
Yeah, so I mean, he's most successful. We can't argue that. But as far as best,
it's not Phil Pops, and they said Lobo of America on the stream at KIT, and that is not Phil Pops.
Yeah,
so.
I'm still gonna back Cage, or maybe Ducky. Those two combined are the best. But yeah, Maxter, you can't argue he's most successful for now.
I think
didn't he play other characters too?
I'm not sure. I didn't
see. He played Hot Girl. I know he played Doomsday against me. So
I am a proponent of, I'm a big, not, we obviously this is where our differences, we'll just see it differently. Is you say most successful, and I'll say, well, he's had the most success with the character. He's probably doing something right the most. So that's just now I agree. I saw his play where he didn't do the tick grabs and stuff like that, and I thought it was whack. And I see Phil Pops, and he's learning, but he's still a newer player. And then Cage is online warrior or whatever he is. I don't really know. So to me, again, if you're doing it in tournament against these really pretty good players, you're probably doing something right. So to me, Maxter goes up there, and I haven't seen Cage, so I just can't rank. I wouldn't say he's the worst of the three. That's not what I'm trying to say. I just haven't seen him. So I'm a proponent of, if you're going to tournaments and doing well against pretty good players, you probably deserve the credit. Now, Lobo of America, probably a bit of a stretch. I agree. But you got to give him props. At least he's going out and trying,
Yeah. No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. Right. But it's a feud. It's a feud, and I think we're at a point in this scene where we can rebello people, and we can rebello Cage, because we've me and Ducky obviously have extensive offline experience, and we've both played Cage great, and most of the time Cage's connection with us is great.
Yes.
Most of the time. There are times. But then we just kick him out. We say, go do something else. But yeah. So I'm rebelling Cage hardcore here. He's he
takes me down to the fucking wire. Like,
yeah. It's always back and forth with all of us, pretty much. Like him versus both of us.
Yeah, he's really good.
So that's my word on it. And yeah, Maxter's achieved more, but from seeing Maxter play,
I've played both. So
what do you say, Cage over Maxter right now?
I would say Cage. My matches with Cage's Lobo have been... I only played Maxter that one game, and then he went to Doomsday, and I think Cage is better.
All right, well, looks like we'll be seeing the culmination of this pretty soon.
Oh, yeah.
If luck is with us. I would like to rebel myself as Deathstroke of America until proven otherwise. Because there are no other Deathstrokes that play besides Argon Ross.
He seemed pretty good. I thought he seemed pretty solid.
I didn't see. I heard he was good.
Yeah, he did good.
He was solid. He lost to Max, but he was very solid, and that's a good thing for Deathstroke.
That is good for Deathstroke.
Anyway, continue.
I like Deathstroke. So that's probably going to wrap it up for this week. A lot of talk, a lot of things. Last thing I do want to mention before we go out is that apparently major FGC events do need Dr. Pepper and Hot Pockets.
Yes.
Now, I just remembered, as I said Hot Pockets, that we were going to do a ranking list of the best Pop-Tarts. We discussed this earlier.
That sounds totally unrelated, but it
is totally unrelated, but it is a snack food.
It's semi-related.
Right. So, Dr. Pepper and Hot Pockets, if you guys don't know, CD Jr. and a bunch of guys were tweeting about how MLG is better because they have Dr. Pepper and Hot Pockets. That was only one of their reasons. It wasn't their whole argument, but still it was a big reason, and I found it a bit silly. Moving on from that, best Pop-Tarts, I'm throwing it down, it's s'mores. There's no argument.
Oreo.
I obviously don't have a good history with... I'm starting drama, even in the Pop-Tart thing. I don't have a good history with Crimson Shadow, but I will give him infinite credit for showing me confetti cupcake Pop-Tarts, which are just heavenly. They are amazing.
Confetti cupcake?
Yes, they taste like vanilla cupcakes. They are fucking amazing. They are a godsend. They are...
I want to try those now.
They have them at Super Arcade, too. It's great.
Really? What the fuck? Why didn't you tell me when I was there?
Dude, you were there like 10,000 years ago.
Like one time, a million years ago.
I don't care.
I wasn't like, oh, Ducky's here. I gotta give him Pop-Tarts. That wasn't the first thing that was in my head.
It should have been.
All right. I will say this. I haven't tried the cupcake one. I have to.
S'mores are good, though. I have had those.
S'mores is up there. I would also argue that the raspberry is up there.
Never had those.
I have not either.
Raspberry is a good one. Now, and we'll be quick about it. What the worst Pop-Tart has to be strawberry.
Yeah, those are bad. I don't like those.
I like cherry, but I don't like strawberry.
Strawberry is different. It's good it's really good if you toast it, in my opinion. But if you don't toast it, it's lowest tier in my opinion.
That's true. That is a good point. Some of them do taste better toasted.
Dude, freezing Oreo ones. Oh, those are good. Do that.
The Oreo one's pretty good. I haven't frozen it.
Dude, do it. It's even better if you freeze it.
Really?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I've never even thought about freezing a Pop-Tart in general.
I'm pretty sure that's the point of them, is to freeze them.
What? No, it's not.
It's like toaster... The commercial is where the Pop-Tart is fooled into going into a toaster and he dies.
Wait,
so the people
the Oreo one?
Oh, I don't know about the Oreo one.
Because the Oreo one is like packaged and it's like snowflakes and shit on it. So my thought was, okay, I need to stick this in the freezer.
Or maybe it's holiday themed.
It's not holiday themed, though. They sell them year round.
Oh.
It's not. So my thought was, okay, I probably should put this in the freezer. I've never toasted them. I've never wanted to.
What is it like when you freeze it?
It's just frozen and it tastes good.
Oh, really? It's frozen? Really? Thank you for the description.
You talk about a fucked up meta. How fucked up of a meta is the Pop-Tart meta when you're freezing them?
I know, like...
Dude, trust me, please.
been playing the Pop-Tart game wrong this whole time.
Apparently.
Yeah, dude. Go to the store, buy a box of them, shove them in the freezer, pull them out a couple hours later, and eat them. Trust me, it's amazing.
If my teeth don't break first, I'll report.
You're going to be talking all funny on the next podcast.
Yes, I'll be like, well, I had the first Pop-Tart, and let me say. Fuck Ducky. He'll pay for my dental work. And my braces, which I no doubt will have to have. Alright.
Oh, they taste... I'll give you my old wisdom tooth.
You! What's your fucking... Wait a minute! You can't just transfer teeth?
I'll make it happen.
Good lord, I'll die and then it'll be like reported. No fucking player Ducky died. His dental records were found in this guy's mouth. Somehow he gained 140 pounds. Jesus.
You'll like the way my teeth taste.
Ugh. Alright, we're getting in weird places. Time to wrap it up. It's very late, but we've had a good show. I think we talked about a lot of stuff. Should be an interesting week to watch out for. Follow us all on Twitter, as per usual. You can plug the Twitter right now. Mine is at KingHippo42. Chef.
I'm at EGP_Wonder_Chef.
Ducky.
Mine is blind_Ducky.
And with that, we will wrap it out. So again, it was fun talking to you. I'm King Hippo.
I'm Wonder Chef.
They're both pretty, and I'm a duck.
Good night, everybody.
Hype Skype. Good night.
Yeah. Yay.